and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
You know what it is. Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn out we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we gone. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said we gone. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard.
I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my pimpin' shit. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today.
Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we gone.
Oh my goodness, we're live. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 120th episode of BullSittin on TSWS Gaming. I'm Loke7, as always, your host. And joining me today is Mr. Matt Likes Games, the man that likes games more than anyone alive. And our special, and also always recurring guest is the legendary Cult Classic Cage.
I don't know about all of that,
Welcome
bro.
in.
Yes.
Welcome in. You've been getting flamed a lot. Anyway,
Social, engagement. You can just, it is what it is.
it is what it is. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah,
And what you been playing?
I'm doing pretty good. As far as what I've been playing, I mean, Call of Duty, Starfield, Astrobot last night. I played that. Really want to play Space Marine, but waiting for Monday.
Give us your way too early review of Astrobot.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, like I might be the wrong person to ask simply because I wasn't like one of the people who was like super hyped for it. But it's cool. Like it's a really cool game from what I played so far. There's like a moment in the first hour, maybe less than that, that is really, really plays on nostalgia for me personally, which is really awesome.
Nice.
I would say you are the exact person that we need to talk to, because the people that have been anticipating it will not be objective.
Oh, dude, I know
like,
someone who's not going to be objective. Yeah.
Like, you don't want to ask me, oh, look, how would you rate Metal Gear Solid 4 when it comes out again? You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you an unbiased opinion. So I would say you're actually the right person. So please give us more details, because I'm curious, and I need this for when I arrive in Mozambique, because as you guys know, I'm sorry, in Maputo, not Mozambique. I'm still in Mozambique. When I arrive in Maputo, I don't know if I start with Space Marine or if I start with Astrobot. So I need to know which one I go with. So
That's tough.
I need your breakdown. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Well, I mean, and like I said, if it was up to me, I'd be playing Space Marine too. But Astrobot's really cool. It's about what I expected. Platformer. I've played like the first, I don't know, maybe hour of it. Like I played like the first area. There's multiple different areas with different levels in each area, and I played the first area, and it was pretty damn good. I'll play more of it tonight. I definitely like the tie-in with a lot of other PlayStation franchises. They do a really good job at tying things in, and bigger ways that you would expect. Because I gotta be honest, whenever I saw they were doing Astrobot, I kind of figured the tie-ins with other franchises would be like, here's a robot that looks kind of like Nathan Drake, and that's about it. But like they did a pretty
Yeah.
It's
good
what they
job.
did with Playroom.
Yeah, like, but they did a pretty good job at tying in other franchises in more like meaningful ways and cool things that affect actual gameplay and stuff.
That's dope.
So there's a story
Yeah,
now.
it's
Is there a
cool.
story now?
Is there a story? I guess there's a story. I mean, I don't know exactly what it would be. I'm like I said early in the game, I have a theory for what you're doing in the game, which I don't
Mhm.
know is technically is. I guess it's a spoiler, but it's not really because I mean, it's not the biggest thing, and they kind of already showed it. But like the first thing you see on the game when you boot into it is like a PS5, and then it kind of like disassembles and crashes. And I feel like you're going to be building the PS5 Pro
Mm. Hmm.
throughout the game is kind of what it seems like you're doing. I could be wrong, but I think that would be interesting.
The premise reminds me of Pikmin. You know, if you guys are familiar,
Mhm.
because you crash land on a planet, your ship is in pieces. You got to go find all the pieces, and you know assemble your little Pikmins and bring all the pieces
Mhm.
together. So that's what I got when I heard of how the story is. But I'm glad that there's no story. I do want to play the game. I'm waiting to see if maybe there'll be a PC release. I feel like there is.
Oh,
Sure,
come
will be.
on.
Surely there
Come
will be.
on.
Here's the thing: if I had nothing to play, I would be playing it. You know, but the thing is, I'm stacked, bro. I have so many
Mhm.
games to play that I'm not buying Space Marines or I was gonna say Pikmin, but Astrobot.
Oh,
Like,
Astrobot, yeah.
why throw money at something I realistically don't have that time to play? I try to be
It's a fair
reasonable
point.
with my wallet.
Yeah, we have to be real.
Yeah,
Yeah. We have to be honest with ourselves when it comes to these decisions because there's money on the line. That's the
absolutely.
truth of it. Like I do want to get to Baldur's Gate 3,
Jeez, I
but I don't
still
have the
got
time
that.
for it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the I have it on PS5, but I don't know if it's still broken on PS5, but I just got the feel that I'd enjoy it more on PC. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to eventually buy this on PC, but
Mm,
why buy it now if I'm still grinding my face against the brick wall that is Elden Ring, right?
yeah.
Astrobot just came out. I'm definitely playing Warhammer with the boys starting Monday. What am I
Yeah.
doing buying Baldur's Gate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just is
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
need to buy Baldur's Gate again on Steam because
Dude,
I have it
yeah.
on Xbox and I want to play it on Steam Deck. I feel like that'd be really cool
Hmm.
for that. But
Is it not? Is it not on GOG? I think it's on GOG, dude. Why don't you just buy it there and own it for real?
I'll buy it on Steam. I don't like. I appreciate GOG. I really do. I think their no DRM thing is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it should
But
be praised more. But I really don't like Epic Games. I don't like Epic Games Store. I'll still get stuff there if it's really on sale. I don't like it. But like Steam, I have no problem with Steam. I really like Steam.
all right,
GOG will probably be my
all
second
right.
Yeah, I
favorite
can't
store.
help it. I'm a Steam simp. It is what it is. Even though I
Yeah,
will never diss GOG, but I haven't
yeah.
used it in a really long time. And since I do have the Steam Deck, I could just throw whatever from my library on there, simplistic, and keep it
Hmm.
moving.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, as a previously console gamer, maybe it's because you guys are too invested in Steam, but as a previously
Yeah.
100% console gamer, now that I have so many options, it's a buffet, and I don't feel like limiting myself. I will
No,
buy
for
games
sure.
for Steam, GOG. I buy games on Epic. There's very nice games on Epic going for $2, and I'm like, bro,
Oh yeah, why
I'm
not?
getting
Yeah.
this. You know what I
There's
mean?
there's also I don't know if you're like if it's
I use a lot of cheap
the
plates.
same over in Africa this month, but like September on Amazon Prime, you get like 20 plus games. A lot of them are GOG codes for free.
Hmm.
I know like Borderlands is part of it. There's a bunch of
Really?
other games. Yeah. But it's
The
like 20
Amazon
games you get
stuff
this month.
usually doesn't apply to Mozambique or to Africa.
Oh, that's
It's like
terrible.
Disney Plus last year. I remember I told you guys that Disney Plus wasn't available. it launched in January. So now
wow.
you see a whole bunch of people are subscribing to Disney Plus, and on like our local news, you see news of like hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people signing up. And I'm like, guys, Gabe Newell knows what he's talking about. It's about availability. No one likes going to pirate sites full of pop-up
Mhm.
ads and all
Yep.
this other bullshit. And it's hard to keep track of whatever it is that you're watching and bookmarking and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Everyone prefers convenience. That is the truth of it. I don't care if I have to pay an extra $10 for it. I ain't
Yeah.
got time. You know, I have work at work. I don't want to work for my entertainment. I don't need that.
Which is why
Uh,
Nintendo's baffling to me.
oh my goodness.
So
Call
many
Classic
games.
Cage.
Yep.
Call Classic Cage. What have you been playing, and how are you doing?
And doing great, man. I've been working out lately, so that's like a new thing to add to my limited time. But as to what I've been playing Visions of Mana, which has been awesome so far, like a really fun time. I will say though, there was like a visual glitch that gave me a massive migraine.
Ooh.
Oh,
Because yeah, like I have a problem with really bright lights flashing. And that's like a trigger for like super migraines. So that was like the only thing about the game that's like, oh god. But other than that, really fun time. It happened one time, so hopefully it doesn't reoccur. Also been playing, working on my Fortnite Battle Pass, which has been a failure. Honestly, I'm behind. We're struggling here,
this is
but
trying.
also I played some of the Black Ops 6 beta, which was I was actually digging it. I was starting to get the hang of it with mouse and keyboard. I like jumping around like a complete clown and falling flat on my face while shooting people in the face. So that's pretty
Mhm.
interesting. And I've been playing also Black Myth Wukong, which has been crazy. I've been really enjoying that game. I don't know if I was gonna like it or not. I'm like, you know what, man? Like, this game is like just cool. I like the style, so I'm like, let me run it and see what's up. I've been enjoying that game. It's really fun. I really like the visual design, the characters' outfits, or even the character. The way that he sounds is so hilarious. I just love
Yes.
it.
Do you listen? Do you listen in English or Chinese? The audio.
English, yeah.
Oh, put it in Chinese if you really want to laugh.
Oh,
Put it
really?
in Chinese.
All right, all
My
right. I'm
goodness.
about to check it out. I don't mind
Yeah,
switching it up and see what's up.
and also thank you so much for stressing me out because I thought I had problems because I had to pick between Astrobot and Warhammer. Now I remember that before I left Maputo, I had only played about 6 hours into Wukong, and now
Damn.
I have to add that to my list when I get back to the city. Thank you so much, Carl Classic Cage. I needed that.
I have like
Appreciate you
20
for that,
hours
fam.
and I'm still like toward the end of chapter 2. Chapter 2 is insane. Like the first chapter, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I'll be done with this quick." Bro, chapter 2 is way the hell bigger. And then I heard chapter 3 is even bigger than that. And I'm like, I try to be
Oh
thorough,
wow.
I want to enjoy it for what it is and try to get the best out of it if I'm going to dedicate my time. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't try to half-ass things. So I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this chapter is way bigger. So I'm definitely prepared to dump
Especially
time into it.
especially when we're talking about a game that potentially could be game of the year.
Yeah,
Like this is
exactly.
not just another, oh, it's pretty good. And it's like, no, 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 this is probably one of the best games you're going to get this year, maybe this generation.
Yeah.
So thank you again for stressing me out. But going back to Astrobot, there are walkthroughs being made of the game where you can 100% it in 8 hours. So you
Wow.
technically you beat it in 6.
Mm.
The game's $70.
It's
Let's
60.
talk about it. Oh, my bad. The game's $60.
It's 60.
Mm.
Worth it or no?
I'm-
It really
I,
varies.
yes, so I wouldn't have got the game, probably. It's because me and him game share that I'm playing it. So, I mean, for me, no, but for like my buddy Twan, who's like obsessed with Astrobot, and I already know, I haven't even talked to him, but I already know it's going to be his game of the year. For him, yeah. For him, yeah, it's definitely worth it. So, like,
Mm.
I guess it depends on who you ask. But like, also, isn't that walkthrough? Wasn't it like a speed run kind of thing? Like, hey, I'm just
No,
I'm
it
just cool.
wasn't.
It wasn't
No, it was 8 hours to
8 hours
100% the
to
game.
100%.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
100%. We're not talking about beating it. We're talking about
yeah,
doing every little thing. Now, whether or not this
Wow.
person was super efficient and did everything on the first try, because I played Astro's Playroom, and I remember there was certain sections that I spent an extra 30 minutes trying to get through.
yeah.
Like,
I
I'm not even talking about the skill part. I'm just talking about someone took like 8 hours to 100% it.
Because I also thought, like, with that specific thing, that the guy said he beat it before, and he's just running through and doing like everything. I don't know what the
Oh, so
case
you had
is,
beaten it before.
but yeah, that's what I thought I heard. I could be wrong though. I'm
Well,
not sure.
I've been on and off watching my boy BitCloud stream, and he's doing a 24-hour stream. He intends to get the platinum. He's already over 11 hours in, and he's been playing at a normal person's pace, not like these insane people that are just like zooming through the game. Like he's playing like how an average gamer would play and enjoying it for what it is, not rushing, just having
Yeah,
fun and experiencing everything that he comes across. And I don't know, man. Like to me, I prefer shorter experiences. Um, because it's like, dude, am I ever really gonna play through The Witcher 3 again? It's one of the greatest games I've ever played, but am I
Probably
really
not.
gonna do that again? Like for me, I've played through Mafia 2 like at least 6 times. I played through the Tomb Raider reboot like 6 times. I
mhm,
played through Bayonetta 1 like 5 times, Bayonetta 2 like 3 times. Like these are games that's like I get these short and really sweet experiences, and I feel like Astrobot would be the same. I don't really think
yeah,
that it's a problem. It really depends. Do you genuinely enjoy? Does this game make you happy? Like
yeah,
that's a game that to me, I see a lot of people being in their happy place, just digging it and just smile on their face the whole time. And you know, at that point, money for happiness, I'm willing to part ways with money for happiness. That's me personally. A lot of people they have to look at time, and I think that to me personally, I think that's been a detriment in gaming with time to money ratio. Because I
yeah,
think a lot
Yeah,
too many developers see it that way. For me, it's like, how much fun am I having? Did I genuinely enjoy everything? Was this crafted well? Does it play well? In terms of the bug squashed, is the level design cool? Am I really enjoying this for what it is? And to me, man, money, I toss money at happiness because you never know how much, you never know how happy you're gonna be in life. And at any moment, I don't want to miss out.
true,
yeah,
true, true. And I just did a quick search here, and it according to how long to beat, it's about 14 to 18 hours, if we're being
Mm.
yeah.
realistic.
Which
But
sounds about right.
even if we go back to the so-called 6 to 8 hours, even if we pretend like that's the time, I 100% agree with Cal Classic Age. We
But this,
all have the we all have the sorry, go ahead, man.
no, go ahead. Because I was gonna say, just put it this way: like Spider-Man Miles Morales was $10 less, and it was like 5 to 7 hours, and is one of the most fun games I played on
Some people
PlayStation
say it
this
was
gen.
Mhm.
better than the original. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would say that.
yeah.
Personally, I would say that. It's great.
And going to Cal Classic Cage's point, really, it's all about what you value as happiness or what you value as value.
Mhm.
And this goes to even the Concord thing that we will get into. As long as you see value in it, that's all that matters. It can be 6 hours, it can be 2 hours. But if you think it's worth $60, then that's what it's worth. Simple as.
Yeah.
For me, from what I played of Astro's Playroom, and this is why I'm hyped for it. Like I love Astro's Playroom.
Yeah. It was a
From
fire
what I
game. I think it's
played,
one of the best PS5 games.
yep, yep. When I heard that they were making a full game and it was coming out this year, I was hyped. Some people call me a fanboy or whatever. I don't care. I was hyped because what I played, I was like, dude, they're making this a full game. Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Let's go. So that's what I was really like insisting with you, Matt, because I'm curious to hear the feedback of someone that doesn't have the bias of being excited for Astrobot. What was your
Yeah.
initial impression?
Yeah, I mean, because I played Astro's. I mean, I think everyone played Astro's Playroom. I didn't beat it though. Like I played it and I was like, this is cool, and I just kind of never played it again. But Astrobot so far is really cool. I could see how that.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't think it's going to end up my game of the year, but like I could see how that could be someone's game of the year.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
Yeah. Yeah. The amount of polish and love.
Oh yeah.
Again, dude, if it's more of what I got with the Playroom,
Yeah.
then
Yes,
I cannot wait.
I mean, just think of it this way
Welcome in.
too. With Team Asobi, you know, they gave you a free game package with the PS5, and I enjoyed it. A lot of my friends that I know played it, genuinely enjoyed it. To me, I think it's one of the better PS5 exclusives that's come out. So they gave you a free game, and a lot of people had fun with it. So I mean, I think it's a little more justifiable. Hey, man, you know, I think they're a great dev team. They're gonna put out a solid product. I already played one of their solid products for free, so I guess that's enticing to say, fuck it, and throw them the $60 for this whole experience as well. Why not?
Yeah. Dude, if I lived in the States or in Europe where you guys have like physical media, I would take the time to go and buy the Astro controller.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
That's how much I love
Yeah,
it.
it looks nice as hell.
You know? It looks sleek. It's
Mhm.
a collectible, but it represents a game that I love. You know what I mean? Welcome in Legendary Yobi. And I know I thanked you in the chat, Yobi, but I just want to thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, Yobi, like I'm gonna put it up on the screen. All right, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Yobi did something very nice for me. He got me something that I've wanted literally since I was like a freaking teenager.
Nice.
I bought this. What's it? We're showing you items shipped to Mozambique to see. Okay. Dismiss. So again, right? More proof that I'm not in Texas. It's a nice little joke. But as you can tell, Amazon can tell that I'm in Mozambique. Anyways.
It's a VPN. Look,
I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to go there. Anyways, anyone that knows me knows that I absolutely adore The Rock. And I bought this DVD when I was still in university in South Africa. And I absolutely love it. I lost it, right? I don't know what happened when I moved to Mozambique, whatever, but I don't have it anymore. And we were just casually talking about it on, what was it, Monday? I think we were talking about it on Monday. And Yobi DM'd me the link, the Amazon link for this. And I'm super excited to get it. He's, for me, the best wrestler that's ever lived. And having the digital version is not enough for me. Like, I need the physical disc so I can display it somewhere and maybe play it for my kids one of these days or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yobi, again, thank you so much. Appreciate
That's awesome.
Yodani says, who's been a member for 11 months. Welcome in. Thank you so much for continuing to support TSWS. Yodani says, look, how is your playthrough of Dustborn going? Oh my goodness. That's why Cult Classic Cage is holding her head right now.
Jesus.
So I have made a commitment to eventually play Dustborn, but I will do it.
Why'd you do that?
Because people be trolling it, and I'm like, I think a lot of people are trolling it just because it has different ideals to them, and I want to be sure that it's actually trash.
I think that having different ideals is fine. It's just that you said it, it's trash. It's fine if it has different ideals. Like, it doesn't make it automatic, but like it is also trash on top of that.
Oh my God. Have you played?
Like,
It's a government-funded propaganda.
so, like, I mean, do you want to play it?
I don't want to play it, but I just keep getting people like poking me. It's either Yodani or Reichi and Vince. They're always like, dude, when are you gonna play? When are you gonna play this game? And I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna play Dustborn one of these days. Cozy,
Let's go.
Cozy.
can you hear us, Cozy?
She's still
Hello,
figuring it out. Uh-oh.
Earth
She's
to Cozy.
frozen.
No, she's not.
Well.
Uh-oh.
There
she
we
is.
go.
What
Before we
up?
start, Cozy, are you feeling rosy?
Absolutely.
I
Please
love
tell
it.
us why. Please tell us why.
Look what I got.
What
The hell is that? Oh my god!
Not
Is
Douglas
that-
tentacle.
Let's go.
Where
You have
did
to
you
eat
get?
that. Let's go. Hold on. Full screen.
Are you
Cozy.
eating that? Holy Christ! Oh my god!
Take another bite. Cozy. Come on. Here we go.
Holy shit! I thought that was just a fucking like just some fucking thing.
You thought it was a toy. Matt
I thought it was just
a
like a
toy.
fucking kid's toy or something. I didn't expect it
He
to
thought
be
it was
food.
Oh.
Oh my
You
god!
see?
It's even got the little
See,
suckers.
guys. Let's see.
Suckers.
Ooh, nice.
That is
nice.
insane.
Nah, Cozy.
Yeah.
Just bite off just like one or two of those, the little sucker thingies, then leave the rest of it. I want to see what it looks like. Let's see. Then put it close to the screen. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god!
Oh, the
That
viewership
is-
is gone.
This is why you
can't
come
watch.
to TSWS gaming.
Actually, I
This
really
is
like the
why.
texture of the suckers. I'm gonna pull them out first.
That's
Oh
crazy.
my god, what's wrong? Call Classic K. Do you have a problem with the
Um,
sucker thingies?
I'm not a fan of
Is-
octopus at all.
Oh
Me
really?
either.
Like you can't even
Those
look at
things
it.
are creepy.
No, it creeps me out.
Look,
Yeah.
I,
Oh
I
my
pull out the.
goodness.
I'm
That
doing you a favor.
entails-
I'm pulling out these suckers.
Oh my god! Where do you
Oh
get
my god.
that?
Well, what did I do to you? Dustbot is a game made for you. Oh my goodness. Cozy, what I will say, Cozy, is that you are very welcome to Mozambique. You are very welcome because we eat a lot of octopi around here. So wow. Good stuff. Anyways, Cozy, what you been playing and how you doing? Hello? Is
Yes.
is Cozy there?
Feeling an Elden Ring.
Oh, you're still playing Elden Ring. Have you beat the
Oh, I haven't beat anything. I've gotten my ass kicked. Every second of that game.
you said you'd be streaming it. Come on.
Did you
Cozy.
fight Margit?
I'm gonna start. No, I've just died. Okay, I'll start streaming it tonight.
Let's
I'm
go.
just disappointed in myself.
Please.
I don't
I
like
need-
the
I
goop
need-
part. This is too goopy.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Man, I'm glad I didn't eat
Wow.
anything.
Oh, you should have been here the time I ate Balat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's a reason why I
was-
don't know what that is, and I think I will continue to not know what that is
It's-
for my own safety.
It's a dish. It's a dish.
It is a dish.
It's delicious, you guys.
I
Yes,
don't
it is.
care
Take
how
your
good
word
it
for it.
is.
I won't try though.
Welcome in Xbox International Podcast. Crazy Louie in the house.
Oh,
Great
Louis, I
tea.
know.
Thank you so
He
much for
was
joining
here
us.
for the episode where I ate the Balat.
Yeah. Stanley Francois, welcome in. He's not enjoying your food. Pork Bun says he's here for Kiryu Talk.
Yeah.
And Cassie. DJ Birdo Doss, welcome in. Also not enjoying the food. Uh, Cozy, all I can say to you is never change. Never change, Cozy. Like,
I agree.
people literally just show up to TSWS just to see you, if we're being honest.
This is true.
They
Yeah.
show up just for you. All right. Well, we've gotten through the niceties and the video and the what we've been playing. Let's talk about the potential game of the year, people.
Mhm.
The game that we're going to be speaking about probably a decade from now.
Come on. It better be a game we're actually
Uh,
speaking about a decade from now.
Concord
Oh yeah.
Oh my
fans,
god.
Ugh.
fans wave, fans wave goodbye to PlayStation. Flop Concord as it goes dark, maybe forever. Concord is set to shut down today, September 6th, and what players the game has remaining are waving goodbye to a shooter they were only able to play for 2 weeks. Sony's
Wild.
shock decision to haul the long in development PC and PS5 hero shooter offline just 2 weeks after launch amid disastrous low player numbers and terrible sales sent some players racing to nab its platinum trophy in creative ways. We all read the statement. Some Concord players have suggested the game may return in free to play form, but Sony has made no such guarantee. So today's shutdown may end up being the last we see of Concord ever. Wah, wah, wah.
No.
Matt,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts
Mr.
on
Concord. Mr.
on
Concord
I
himself.
Yeah.
I
Matt put
think
in like 60 hours into this.
yeah, I put in so much time on that game. I put in so much time that I didn't even play it. I I think it'll come back. I think it'll come back free to play. And
Facts.
I think they have
Okay.
to revamp a lot of stuff because they got to redo the entire game for monetization. They got to make more interesting characters because apparently the characters didn't resonate at all with anybody. So it's like there's a lot of stuff they got to do for that game. But I think
Mm.
it'll be back. Will it succeed though? I don't know. Because Ham said it. I'm pretty sure he said it on your guys' show earlier in the week. Like first impressions matter, and the first impression of that game was pretty not good. It's not good. Not a good way to make first impression. So I think it'll be back. I don't know if it's going to matter much. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully the studio doesn't get like shuttered. That's the one thing I'm hoping for out of all this is that it does come back. The studio is successful to some degree and they do get whatever player base they're aiming for, you know, but I don't know. It's just the way that it launched, the price it launched at, the characters they made. It's like there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted out, but
I
we'll
don't think
see.
the characters were bad though. I think the character
They were
designs
just
were bad.
yeah, the character design. That's what I'm talking. Like
Like,
they
why
were
did they
just
go for
very
hyper
generic.
realistic? Why they go for hyper realistic in a
Yeah.
world where we want our characters to be cool? Like, I think they missed the mark by being like, let's just make it
Yes.
hyper realistic. Like, so all the weird quirks about the characters just didn't work because they were just so realistic looking. It was just a turn off to people who would normally play. Like me, I
Yeah.
would have tried. I mean, the $40. No, I wouldn't have tried that $40. But
Yeah.
me, I would have been the person that would try that game. Like, I would try that game and be like, oh, really? I'm gonna try that game. But the problem was, I would look at the characters. I was like, why did they go for this design? Also, they should have given us something different in the form of like PVE campaign that was promised by Overwatch and didn't get.
Yeah,
There were
yeah.
angles they could have attacked this at, and they did
Yeah.
not.
I also think it's weird that they decided like I felt the same way when Halo did it, and thankfully Halo canceled it. But like this whole like we're gonna release a story for the multiplayer. It's like don't do that. You're wasting money doing that.
Yeah.
No,
Not yeah, you are.
no. The
Especially
problem isn't that they wasted story for the multiplayer. The problem is that they didn't give us any sort of reason to care about the story.
That's
Like, for example,
exactly.
Overwatch, they have a story-ish thing going on. The characters have
Sure.
background and stuff, but they knew how to give us things that we were interested in. You
Yeah.
love the characters. The problem with Concord is you're not going to be like, man, I love these characters.
I wonder how much time it took to make like those weekly little segments of like character
that's
development. Like, because I have to ask, like, how did this game take 8 years to make? Like, what were you doing for 8 years?
Apparently, worse than that, it only took like 4.
Really?
What?
That makes it even worse. Because
It only took like 4.
yeah, but I mean, so yeah, there was like a comment from the dev team that like, oh yeah, maybe we had this written on a napkin 8 years ago, but it wasn't like it done. But 4 years, it makes it absolutely even worse because that was when hero shooters peaked.
Yeah.
They should have had a plan other than to create something that was already being done. They should have basically been like, okay, we have to do something that's not reinventing the wheel. And they didn't do that. They just gave us what everyone else gave us, but for $40.
Exactly, charges $40 for it, which is. I mean, I'm not gonna say that game would have been wildly successful free to play. All I know is
Moderately.
all I know is after
Probably.
playing the beta, I can say I would have definitely played that for free. Would I've like stuck with it and grinded it all the time? I don't know about that, but I would have
Probably not.
definitely played the game.
I think based on the beta interaction or lack thereof, that game should have never launched in the state that it was in. I mean, and the thing
Yeah.
is, the game was playing fine. It wasn't like it was a glitches or an optimization issues. There was none of that from what I've seen. It's just there was just this clear lack of interest. There was this disconnect that you could tell off rip just based on the numbers for the beta that this is not going to find an audience. I don't know what more they had to see with the interaction in the beta to come to that conclusion. This game was not released; it escaped. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's so. I don't like games
But they'd already
like
sold
Redfall,
pre-orders.
and that's the
I'm
thing. They
just
should have ran a
like,
beta beforehand.
who greenlit all the character design? Because that is what I think a lot of those games live and die by. And
Yeah.
the character design in that game is absolutely unfun.
Yep. I don't know.
I
It's
agree with that.
Isn't that kind of like, I don't know, like I get it, are we allowed to say that
Say what?
So what?
that we don't like what the characters look like?
Yes, we are. What are you
Yes.
talking about? Are you
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
it's PC because it's not PC because you have this type of character and this type of character? No, we're allowed to say that specifically because if you look at something like Overwatch, they have like brolic chicks, they have like everything, but the
Yeah.
characters are fun. Even
mean,
the
you have to-
characters, yeah.
You have to have a real conversation about the game. Besides the gameplay, what is the second most important thing about a hero shooter specifically?
Yeah,
This looks
the
nice.
heroes.
Like this
Heroes.
this looks amazing to me. No?
No.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't look. Why are you saying that? It doesn't look amazing to you. Stop it. Stop that.
Like I totally would.
No, you
No?
No,
wouldn't.
here's the thing: that character, if it was less realistic looking, would
Yeah?
be fine. The problem is she's just so realistic looking that the characters just don't like. They're unstylized.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
need
someone was
to-
like, yeah,
They should have taken a way more stylized approach to the game, like Marvel's Rivals. Like there's other games that knew what they were going for with the style of the game, and it just feels like they were trying to do something, and it didn't work out here at all.
I think if they went with like a stylized version of the game that kind of looked like something similar to what Arcane would release, I think it would have benefited the characters a lot more.
yep.
Yeah.
A lot more.
It's like strictly how realistic they look that was off-putting to me. I was like, ew.
This
Yeah.
robot doesn't look realistic.
Like
It
that
doesn't look
robot.
cool. It doesn't look cute.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like someone was like, "This is how a robot." This looks like something that you'd see in an actual movie or something.
Gigantor from like the 60s
Yeah.
is a more interesting looking character design than this dog shit.
Dog shit. All right. Okay. So the robot, no. Baz is also a no. What about this one?
No, it's like the realisticness looking
They
of
all have
them.
the same problem.
Yeah.
There's no way they missed on all of them.
They did because of
This
their
one's
art
a banger.
style.
This one's a banger. Come on.
Dude, make that a cartoon and it's fine, but it's not a banger like that. It's just not. They all
Alright.
suffer the same fate.
All
Every
right,
single
fine.
one.
What about this one? Duchess.
The exact same thing.
Same thing. You know what she reminds me of? If you know what Overwatch equivalent? Ana, who's a very old lady. You know, she's kind of fun, but she just looks too real.
All right. Ooh. Let's go. Emery.
No, you're having a different conversation from us. You're talking about like the diversity and whatever of the characters. We're saying that doesn't matter. We're just saying the characters just look too realistic to be fun.
Yeah.
So if this was like you know how Marvel Rivals is almost like a cartoon.
Yes.
Yes.
If this was cartoony, then it would be more interesting.
Yes.
It would make sense because
Yeah,
that's like a
yes.
huge character, a huge cartoony character would totally make sense. But like, just some big realistic cartoon woman is like, why? Why'd you do that?
I think they thought they were doing something, making them realistic, but they were making them off-putting because they don't understand that half the appeal of hero shooters is them looking enjoyable and realistic. Is oh my goodness, yeah, that's no.
Yeah, that one, that was the character I played as a lot in the beta, and just because of the weapon she had, but that's a freaky looking character. Because it's like what?
Isn't
like,
that what aren't heroes freaky looking?
No.
Cozy, you better be playing Elden Ring with that mouth like that.
Maybe I'm not because you started talking about
Right.
hero shooters and my
You're playing
addiction
Overwatch.
kicked in. How'd you know?
Because
You're playing
as soon as you said
Overwatch.
hero shooters. As soon as you said
Let's
hero
go.
shooters.
She triggered. She got triggered.
I did get
All right,
triggered.
Well, the second section of this news. Actually, no, it's the second section. Capitalism gonna capitalize, ladies and gentlemen. Scalpers are trying to upsell Concord after Sony pulled it from sale.
That's down bad, man. That's tragic.
I don't understand why you're even. I don't understand why you're even like buying a disc version of an always online game.
That's a good
It's a piece of
question.
history. It's a piece of gaming history, Cozy. Like today, the copies of Atari, remember of ET,
But you can.
copies of ET.
But that game exists outside of online.
Yeah, but people might still be interested in it. That's why they're upselling it and people are buying it.
Hey, I know some console gremlins that would definitely buy it.
You can have it as a like a conversation piece, but when I say it's like stupid, it's specifically because like what are you gonna do with the game? You can't play it.
Oh no doubt it's stupid. Like no doubt it's stupid. So no one here would buy one of these. Even just as like
fuck no, I wouldn't buy it if
a
it
video
didn't
game
die.
memorabilia.
No, I wouldn't. I don't buy physical copies of any digital games.
Too much common sense in this room. All right. Let's see how much they're actually selling it for. Scalpers who still have a sealed copy of the game are therefore seeing it as an opportunity to make some money, listing Concord on eBay for double or even triple its price. Some sellers still have it available for its standard price, so it's unlikely many of these will sell just yet, however.
I think they're just
Ships
trying to
overnight.
sucker some people. I'm sure there's some people
Mhm.
that saw the game launch and didn't realize that it ended so abruptly. But they'll probably realize, oh, why can't I get this game? Well, I want this game. I was just not, I just happened to have not gotten it day one, but now I want it. And some people, I'm sure, didn't read that PlayStation announcement. So I would think
Yeah.
maybe someone would get suckered into buying it, thinking that, oh, yeah, it's still up, I'm sure.
I'd probably buy it. Like if I had the disposable
Why?
income to that level.
What are you gonna do
Like
with
I
it?
said, dude, it's a collector's item. Like
No,
Ty
it's
says in the
not.
It's
comment
not.
section.
It's not a collector's item. You're making it a collector's item, but it's not.
Ah, Rachel's right.
Damn, physical collectors don't play games, no watch movies. God damn.
So
They
no,
just
no,
collect
it's
to have it.
because the thing is, it's a but you can't play it.
Yep. It collects dust.
It's like just having like. I remember I said the same thing when I saw people bragging about getting the Helldivers 2 physical copy. What are you gonna do with that?
I mean, now
When
getting
the
the
game
Concord
eventually dies.
controller
The
would
Concord
be
controller
would
is
make more
sweet.
sense.
It looks
Yeah.
nice. It looks nice.
That's a nice looking controller.
That'll be worth some mate.
All right. Yodani is laughing at what Matt said. All right. So the last section of the Concord eulogy, and I'm taking my time with this one, right? I'm taking my time with this one
Wow.
because I would like to kindly ask everyone, right? Get them all in, get all the hits in, and then we're done with Concord. Like it is dead
Okay.
and buried. We can reference it like as a little signpost of something that happened in history, but I don't want to dilly and dally on it for months to come. Ty says if there's a limited copy, it's a collector's item. Oh my god. All right. Anyways, Prime Video's animated anthology, Secret Level, will reportedly not remove its Concord episode. It will remain as one of the 15 episodes despite Sony pulling it from sale after just 2 weeks. Panel, thoughts?
I think it's a good thing.
So this is from what show? That's I'm assuming upcoming.
Yeah, it's that
Secret
thing
Level.
What they announced that Summer Games Fest? Not
Oh,
Summer
I
Games
got you. I got you. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the
mean-
video game anthology thing.
What can they do? It's it's not their fault that Sony shit the bed on this one. They shouldn't have to suffer by reworking their entire show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you guys think that maybe if it's good, like if people fall in love with the characters and maybe the story, maybe it could make a comeback.
No, I think they'd have to reinvent the game for it to make a comeback.
They have to do what?
Reinvent the game to make a comeback, and it's not a bad game. It just got a bad design for bad character design, and it cost money in a world where the other options that already exist and already established are free.
All right. So with that one, I guess we all agree that Anthem's dead for real. Let's pretend it's a eulogy. Matt, say your last piece on Anthem. Stop
Goodbye.
it, Kirk Classic Gate. We don't even know if Anthem was Christian. What's wrong with you? Matt, give us your last word on Anthem.
Hey, goodbye. See ya. Later. That's about it.
Peace
All
out,
right.
they them scout.
I don't know what else that much I can say, really.
All right. Chicken Eye 210 says rip Concord. All right. Cozy, what's your last word on Concord?
They tried. The devs tried.
Yeah.
They just did not.
My daughter tries and she shits herself. What are we talking
Well,
about?
your daughter, that's not the same level of trying. When you work for a company, you just gotta do what is required of you. You can't necessarily steer the outcome. You work for a company. You can't steer the outcome. You're just a little cog. And the
Ooh, so
people
it
who worked
wasn't
on the
the
game,
devs' fault.
they tried. They made a competent product. They didn't control the purchasing or any of that for the product. So it's understandable.
Poor devs. Cal Classic Cage, last word on Anthem. Sorry, not Anthem. I mean Concord. My bad. Stop it, Rachie.
Who cares? Same difference. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going with peace out, they them scout, because apparently that's their thing. So
All right. My
Well,
last word
it
on
does
this one
kind of suck
is
to be a talentless hack or whatever they call it. Everybody.
yeah,
talentless freaks. That's
Freak.
what they
Oh
called us.
yeah, it does suck being a
Talentless
talentless freak. I do feel bad
freaks.
about that.
That's what they called us. My last word on this one is we don't owe you a goddamn thing.
yep.
There's no dev. I don't care if it's Kojima, Miyazaki, whatever. We owe you nothing. Not even the devs, not the publishers, not the console owners. You guys are here to serve us. The same way we are here to pay you if your product is competent. I've never seen Phil Spencer throw me a couple of shekels to buy the next Xbox.
Yep.
Jim Ryan has never sent me a red cent to buy a PlayStation. Kojima has never helped me buy one Metal Gear Solid game.
He lets you gargle his nuts.
That's true. It's very nice of him.
Yeah, it was
God
fun.
damn it, Cozy. Would you let me finish? God damn it. No one, oh my God. No one at the coalition has ever helped me out because I was having a hard time and I had to support my family. And they were like, oh, here's the free code of Gears of War. No need to make a review or anything. Just enjoy that and go, because we feel that you have responsibilities and you have pressures to deal with in your life. We don't owe you nothing as consumers. And we will never feel bad for you if you produce a bad product or a product that we deem as bad. It's as simple. You are here to serve us. Make peace with it. If you don't want to serve us, don't make we are not here panicking. We're not worried. This is not a bad sign for video games. It's not going to be over for video games. You can get the step in. Your studio can shut down right the fuck now. And this industry will keep chugging along. We will be fine. You can go. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like these devs, they kind of just, and the companies themselves, like, they don't realize that entertainment is not a necessity. It's not food, it's not water, it's not shelter.
It's really not.
It is not a necessity. So all this, like, trying to, I don't know, like, get people to buy games that aren't necessarily good because of it. Like, no, you must produce good product, and people will indulge in good product as long as it's properly advertised and all that. But you're not entitled to anything. You don't produce a necessity.
And even if you did produce a necessity called Classic Cage, unfortunately for you, you're not the only one producing, my friend.
Exactly.
The Chinese done woke up.
Yep.
They are coming for that ass. We'll be fine. We will be fine. Concord tried to sell us big cola when Coca-Cola is free. There you go.
Damn.
There you freaking go. Welcome in, Ocean.
I think the lot of thing is, like, it's always misplaced on the devs. If you work for anyone but yourself, you're just a little cog. You really are a cog. You're really a disposable cog. So like a lot of this is displaced on the devs, and they're just like, well, I'm just working because it's my job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You,
rough
you
on
know what the
developers.
mistake is, Cozy? They
What?
need to shut the fuck up.
That is the
That's
thing,
the
man.
problem.
And you know what? It's a shame
That
It's
because
is
usually
the
not.
problem.
It's usually
It-
not the devs that are actually talking.
it's usually outliers. Like most of a dev team, I don't know who the hell they are. And that's a good thing. I don't want to know about you. I just want you to do what you need to do so that you can earn your money, so that you can make a good product that's worth buying. Like I don't want to know about you. I don't want to know what your beliefs are. I don't want to know about your family. With all due respect, it's not like I wish bad upon you. I just don't want to know about you. I just want to know what are the fruits of your labor and if they're worth me buying and purchasing. That's it. But a lot of developers, not all of them. It's not the majority, but a lot of them want to run on Twitter and run their fucking mouth, and then they think that this isn't going to leave a bad impression on the people I want to buy my game. That's not how that works.
And to your point, Cozy, about they're just a cog in the machine. Did you notice before the devs started doing what Cult Classic Cage is talking about, before the devs started doing what the actors in Hollywood have been doing for years now, what would happen when a bad game would come out? We would all unanimously shit on the publisher.
So I think the other problem is a lot of these people, when you talk about like these devs like doing this, a lot of this is actually not people that are actively working on the game in a real capacity.
Mm.
How so?
They'll be like, oh, like I'm a dev, but they've moved into a position where they aren't actually
camera,
doing
Cozy.
development work. So they're like,
Yeah.
I'm a dev, but they've moved into a position where they aren't actually doing dev work. They're like a more middleman manager people.
Or sometimes they're done with their part of the game, and then they have moved on to a new project with a new company.
Yeah. So
That
a lot
happens
of
too.
them,
That's
a lot
the
of the people
thing.
you'll hear talking are not actively involved with actually working on it than the little cogs. Like because
Regardless,
little
Cozy,
cogs aren't
what
speaking because you know what?
but they
They're
do.
just what?
Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
No, they're not actually speaking because they're too busy doing things, working, trying to get home to their families.
I think that
Cozy, with these same games, what ends up happening, and I do agree with you to a certain extent, but a lot of these games have community managers.
Community
Yeah.
managers don't actually work on the game usually.
It doesn't matter, Cozy.
community
No, that's
managers
The,
more often than
game-
not are the
the game-
detriment to the entire team.
exactly.
no,
Exactly.
but that's what I'm saying. Like
The
you can
game named TSWS exists. The game named TSWS has appointed Cult Classic Cage as the community manager. And people
Hey.
go to the Discord to talk to Cult Classic Cage. Bro, she represents TSWS whether or not we like it. Actually, in fact, because we like it, that's why we selected her. So when the community's managers come out here calling us talentless freaks and all this other stuff, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah. I think that there needs to be a leadership position
Whether
when
they
stuff like
develop or
that
not.
happens. When stuff like that happens, I think that a company needs to step up and denounce them. Like, for the sake of saving your game and saving everyone else that chose to do the right thing. I think that has to happen more often, because you shouldn't be out here disrespecting potential buyers, potential, people that are going to secure the product that you worked on. Like, what's the point? What is the point of working years on a product and then not wanting to sell it? I don't understand that. It's just I feel like companies
If you
really
don't
need
disagree
to.
with the manager, if you don't disagree with the manager, you can't denounce them.
No,
I
no,
agree.
here's
You
the
get
thing.
what
You
I'm
don't
saying?
necessarily. No, here's the thing. You're not realizing these people.
What?
They don't necessarily disagree. They can disagree with the manager, but they aren't. Most people are just working. They
Yeah.
aren't like. So it's not a matter of like their personal feelings.
But-
They're just working. They're just trying to get their paycheck.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, I understand both perspectives of this, and we're seeing a lack of leadership. Really, at the end of the day, leadership is not.
I will
stepping
agree with
up.
that. I will agree with that. Leadership is the problem because ultimately you have a lot of people on the bottom, and I don't think you realize how many people, especially in game dev, are just on the bottom, and they're just trying to get through their day, get their paycheck, and they may mildly enjoy what they do, or they may actually enjoy what they do, but at the end of the day, unless you're willing to risk your own livelihood, you just do what they tell you. Like, I work in a field like that. I just do what they tell me. I see all the stupid stuff decisions that they make, and then
No, I
like
do the
it's
same thing.
whatever. It is
I do the
whatever.
same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. But what I'm saying is, this is why it's good for us to celebrate the demise of this game. Because the people that make the decisions that the small guys cannot like counter, they'll only listen when we don't play their game, when we don't buy their game, when we celebrate the destruction, the nuclear bomb that was Concord. When that happens, that's when they listen. So this is why this is a good thing.
It's one of those things where I want to believe that, but we've had over a decade of games absolutely shitting the bed, and the industry continues to just be stupid.
Because the wrong
Yeah.
people still make money off of those stupid decisions,
Yeah.
and that's the
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah.
That's why I would argue it's more of a neutral thing than a good thing. It's something that just happened and is going to happen again and will keep happening because the people really making decisions are the same people who are going to make the decisions next time, and the same people who made the decision before. And it's more neutral than good. Like, I wouldn't say it's a good thing. It's just kind of a fucking a symptom of everyone in charge.
I think that really the only real course correction is an actual legitimate established crash, and it sucks. It's gonna suck for everyone, but the sooner we can go through this,
we can get a crash though.
I mean,
You
but
think we
what are
can get
we?
a crash?
What are
Maybe
we
a
in
soft
now? My
That's what I'm
question
saying.
is,
We
what
can get a
are we in
soft
now?
one.
You know, like
Slump. I don't know.
at some
Is it
point,
really a slump? Because
I mean,
the profits is still going up. Like we and this is why I'm not worried about like what Cozy just said about the same people that are making mistakes for 10 years are going to keep making mistakes. What's going to happen is the big companies will keep making their mistakes, and they're losing money, but obviously they've spent the last 10, 20 years making money. So it's going to take them longer to get to the point where they're like, whoa, guys, whoa. We need to release a banger.
The problem is,
And while that's happening, who are we talking about specifically?
A lot of these companies are not losing money. That's the big problem. They are losing money in the same way that all big mega corps lose money.
Well, look at PlayStation. Is PlayStation really going to lose money on Astrobot, considering the fact that they're about to sell you a $700 PS5 Pro? They've only upped the price on PS5. Like, they're not losing money on PS5.
They aren't.
They're absolutely not.
Look, every company, every time they see like every time a company has a massive loss, they try to offset it by putting it on the consumer more often than not. If PS Plus goes up, or the price of this and that goes up in this territory, they're going to try and offset this failure, and it always does end up falling on us. But guess what? It's going to be this continuing bickering. Like, for me, it's like, dude, I didn't see what I expected from PlayStation over these past few years, so I was like, well, I'm just going to be a primarily PC gamer because I don't like them. I don't like what they're doing. I think that they're I'd rather have more control over my choices by retreating to an open platform. But I think that more people that are still there are going to see these stupid choices, or them trying to offset their L's and putting on consumers, and they're going to react a certain way. That I think there's only but so much people can take, and I think that they're going to continue to do things to try and offset these losses because they will not get to the root of the issue. Like, to me, I don't think Concord should have ever launched, even if they would have had to have canceled pre-orders off rip. But that's a game that should have just never launched. They should have taken it down when they saw that, oh yeah, the lack of interest here means there's a problem, and did an autopsy and then revamped this thing and then launched it upon a better overall reception, because there was no reception other than this is laughably stupid looking. Like people were just dunking on this because it looked stupid and nobody was really playing this game other than a really, really small minor group of people in the community. And
It was
just
the devs
overall,
playing it. Stop lying.
y-
It was the devs playing. Come on.
that was a thing too. That is definitely a thing, and that's a game that when you saw those that beta, that should have never launched, and they could have course corrected there, and it would have taken time and money, but I don't think it would have taken nearly as much money as what they're now trying to do with having to refund and take back people's copies and all that. That's all. This all costs money at the end of the day. So now it's going to be even more money, and now they're going to try to figure out how to relaunch this thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to work.
I want to go at Ty real quick. Ty always brings up very interesting comments. I like it. It's too bad it's not here live, but we'll see next week. Says, well, I don't agree with people talking smack to consumers per se. If a dev is going at you at Twitter, more than likely someone went at them first. No dev is just going to insult someone randomly. Guys,
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree.
They're
so
human
let
just
me
like
go
anyone
first.
else.
Let me go first, and then you guys can tell me if I'm wild. Because of my professional leanings at work and all the other places I've been to, I think a customer versus the person serving the customer relationship, it cannot be negotiated.
Yeah.
I think you cannot negotiate that. If you are here for my money, the power dynamic will never change. There's nothing you can do to change that dynamic. I don't care. And in this specific example, I think it's wild. It is wild to me that it might be acceptable at any point that because you've received abuse from X amount of people or customers, you may now abuse another customer. For me, that is something that is completely out of this world. I'm crazy. I'm a boomer, whatever. What do you guys think?
You have that freedom if you work for yourself. You can say, hello, fuck
Yeah.
your dollar, go elsewhere. If you're working for another company, you have to either suck it up, buttercup, or be that asshole. I think the other thing to understand, though, is... I think the other thing that's to understand is, as someone who's worked in a lot of the technical field, a lot of people that work in the technical field are basically soft bitches. They're soft ass bitches. There's no other way to put it. They you correct
Ooh.
their mistakes. They take umbrage to it. You tell them, hey, here's what's up. They take offense. They can't handle actual criticism.
Mm.
Their
You
mommy
can't
tells them
handle the
that
truth.
they're the yes. Their mommy told them that they were great and wonderful and special, and they're a 30-year-old dude who still believes that about themselves.
It's one of those things where it's like, dude, unfortunately, your job situation involves you having to be in contact with social media. It's a part of your job. And really, at the end of the day, you have to humble yourself. Like, how many job positions where we've been, it's like, dude, I want to just punch the fuck out of this guy and leave.
Exactly.
Or like, I just
Yes.
want to tell this person to
Yes.
go fuck themselves. Like
Yes.
everyone's been in that situation, and guess what?
But you have to swallow it up.
Unless you just don't care that day and you're done with that job, you ain't doing it. Like, I've been in it. We've all had that situation. You have to humble yourself because your job pertains into this game design, and you're connected on the interwebs and whatever. Take yourself out of that situation. You have every opportunity to do that if you need to, unless you happen to be a community manager. Now, if you're just a game developer and you have a Twitter account and you can't deal with people judging your game, well, get off of Twitter, bro. Like, you have to humble yourself because the customer is not asking you to the customer's not trying to sell you something. All right, like you're asking the customer for something, so you're just gonna have to suck it up, bro. Unless you just don't want to engage in any form of exchange. It is what it is.
Oh my God, Ty, this is embarrassing, brother. This is embarrassing. You read the room. Ty says if you're going back and forth with the dev and they're taking shots at you, you're likely were never their customer, especially in this day and age where everyone is anti-woke and woke. Ty, this is not about woke or anti-woke,
No,
bro.
it's not.
This is about
This
people.
is about public reception.
You need
when
to
I'm having
do.
back and forth, when I'm having back and forth with the dev, hold on, Cassie. When I'm having back and forth with the dev on Twitter, it's not just me and the dev, bro.
Yeah.
It's not just if he's being unprofessional towards me, the whole internet is watching.
Yep.
You can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ty, do you have a job, bro? Come on, I know you have a job. I know
You
know
represent
what
more
corporate
than
responsibility
yourself.
is. Thank you. We do it every time you go on onboarding for any company. They tell you to watch yourself, no matter where the forum is. Come on, bro. Come on.
Now, if you're anonymous, like nobody knows who you work for, then whatever, man. Like, there's
That's
a lot
fine.
of us out here, and that's one thing. But every time you're a game developer and everyone knows you're attached to a particular company, every shot you take at a potential consumer,
Dude.
it's not just you fucking up your opportunities with your company. It's you potentially taking food out of your coworkers' mouths, out of your coworkers' kids' mouths.
When IGN reports your kerfuffle on Twitter, they won't say Tae the dev said XYZ. They will say Tae, developer for Astrobot, said
Facts.
this and this and this. Come on, bro. This is
That's
elementary.
why most companies have like social media policies.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
like at the end of the day, you have to have self-control.
It's why I've never said publicly what I do and who I work for.
Yep.
If
facts.
I said who I actually work for, with the amount of people that hate on me and are watching me, I'd probably lose my job. So come on, Ty. Come on. Like I pulled up your comment because I thought we were gonna have some fun here, but come on. Anyways, Astrobot review. So I'm just gonna skip all of this and bam! 9 out of 10 from IGN. They say it's amazing by Simon Cardy, a fantastically inventive platformer in its own right. Astrobot is particularly special for anyone with a place in their heart for PlayStation. Matt, you were talking about Astrobot because you have been playing it recently. What are your thoughts on this snippet of the review?
Yeah, I mean, spot on. Like, there's a lot. Like I mentioned, there's like a lot of tie-ins with a lot of different PlayStation IP and also just games on PlayStation. So yeah, I definitely can see that. I thought it was funny, that specific review. The fact that they gave it a 9 out of 10 and people were like offended, like upset.
People are weird.
That it wasn't a 10 out of 10. It's like, dude, just
what?
Yeah, people were like really upset that it wasn't a 10 out of 10. And the guy I think the dude who did the review had to like defend himself. He's like, dude, it's a great game, but I'm not gonna call it a masterpiece. I don't think that people realize that 10 out of 10 literally is a masterpiece. Like, it can't be beat.
I mean, here's the thing. It's also an opinion. Like being remember when we talked about this last week and Loke was like trying to get me to interested in Astrobot? But I was like,
I did try.
It's legit still a platformer.
Yes.
I mean, like, for me, there's people that look down on platformers. There's people that look down on racing games.
I don't look down on them. I just don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm not speaking for you. I'm just speaking generally.
Thing,
But if that game for that particular genre truly does innovate that genre, no matter, even if it's a genre that people don't really take as seriously as other genres. I mean, shouldn't that be considered, at least to some extent, a masterpiece? This is reinvigorated the genre. This has innovated this genre, even if it's something that a genre that people don't really deem, top
Relevant.
tier or whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
I found it funny, the amount of my fellow brethren on the PlayStation side that have been shitting on Nintendo platformers for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
And this thing came out and everyone is delighted. It's amazing. It's refreshing, etc., etc. I just found it ironic because, while this is nice on PlayStation, I've seen tons, literally, of games that look like Astrobot, some of them better, on Nintendo.
That's because Nintendo always prioritizes gameplay first.
Mm-hmm.
So their games are going to be gameplay centric. So all their
Yeah.
games are going to feel and play very well in a way that it's exceptional for other companies to have that experience.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add on this one, or can we move on?
Well, that's a good game. It's good to see a game that everyone seems to be relatively like, it's cool or it's great. Like, so, all of that in between. It's exciting
Yeah.
because there hasn't been like games that's like, this is without a doubt across the board from a technical perspective, from a art design, just general gameplay design perspective. Like
Vibes,
there's always
everything.
something that's held back, it seems like. Whereas with Astrobot, it seems as though whether you like 3D platformers or not, everything has seemed to have come together in a near perfect way.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Let's continue surfing this positivity wave. Matt, I want to put you on the spot, and then I'll go with the ladies. Give me a game, in your opinion, recent game, that's a 10 out of 10, like 2023. Okay, from this current generation, like a
From this
game that
current
launched, even if it launched on the Xbox One, it's fine.
You
Or on
want
the
just
PS4.
one game?
One game that you
Oof.
think is a 10 out of 10, but is mostly played on the current gen. A game that came out also on the current gen, not ported to the current gen, but a game that launched on the current gen and also the previous gen.
Shit, I got a couple that like.
One.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to decide one. Fuck, man.
All right. If you have more
mean,
than one, go ahead. If you have more than one, go ahead.
I mean, I would throw Elden Ring in there for sure. Because
layup, come on.
I didn't like Souls games, and I still don't like Souls games, but I fucking
But
love
Elden Ring.
So that has to
I'm
be
trying
in
to
there.
100% it. Yeah.
Yeah, how's that going?
Not great, but
He
let's
says
stay on
not
the
great.
positive side.
Yeah.
Let's stay on the positive side.
So I got to put Elden Ring in there. I personally would put Alan Wake 2 in there, which I didn't expect to like that game, to love that game as much
Alan Wake
as
2.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Bethesda stan, so I'd have to put Starfield, just the stupid amount of time I put into that.
Yes.
Yes. I think those are my three. Those would be my three.
Those are very solid shouts. Very solid. Like I don't like Alan Wake, but Starfield and Elden Ring. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Phenomenal.
Cult Classic Cage. Give me either like
I got
give
two.
me one.
I got
more.
two.
Let's go.
I'd go with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Phenomenal game.
Rift Apart.
Absolutely. I adore that game.
Yo,
I think that overall
up your arsenal better.
I mean, that could be the case, but I think
but the question.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, yeah, but I understand.
I mean, I think everything from technical perspective to visual aesthetics to characters to overall story, everything just flows, man. Like that to me, if the game just flows, then I'm fucking happy. That to me makes a 10 out of 10 when I don't have to sit there and question anything. That the game designed, it went on as long as it needed to. It ended properly. I wasn't sitting there like, you could have did this better. No, it just flowed and I was at the end, man. I enjoyed it. Another game that I'd
Wow.
have to go with that I just think flowed, man, and I really enjoyed it, and it just kept building up, better and better, especially from the story perspective, is Judgment. I think that's a fucking phenomenal game from
Wow,
start to finish.
I
I'm also
still need
playing
to
Judgment right now.
I still
Oh
need to
Man,
play
what a
it.
man,
nice
dude,
game. What
I
a
got
what a
nice
both
fucking
of them.
game.
game.
Yeah, fucking
Oh,
amazing.
Haven't played them yet.
oh man, Camarocho. And we I'll say a quick thing about Judgment and then I'll go to Cozy. Cult Classic Age. When you know when a game is so good, like
Yeah.
the moment I realized that it was good was when I didn't want to run.
Yep. You want to just
So
bask in it,
far,
man.
I have walked to every single place. Like I am not running for nothing. It is
Dude,
delicious.
that story
game
is
is good.
insane. It's like you don't. It's like you think that you can't be impressed anymore, but then shit goes down. You're like, what the fuck? Yo, this is insane. Like, what a fucking game, man.
I stopped playing it when Wukong came out, and I'd finished the first murder,
Mm.
and then I was about to move on to investigating the guy that that I'd gotten the acquittal for. I was like, I'm going to investigate this guy, and then that's when Wukong came out. But oh my god,
You
what a
gotta
good
do. You'll be thoroughly impressed. That's a game that's like I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. And I was like, oh my god, I don't think I'm ever gonna come across another video game that has a story like this. That's truly just
Have you played the other
holy shit.
Yakuza games? Have you played the other Yakuza games?
See now, for me, that's like a time investment, man. That's a fucking
All right. All right.
Like-
So before you say you're never going to play a story
I'm just
as good
saying
as that one.
with me just going through my life. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it. Like, you know?
All I'm saying is when you have time, when you have like 12 months free time in the next couple of
my
years,
God.
just play the Yakuza series. It will take you a year. If you're only playing Yakuza, it'll take you about a year.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's definitely a journey. Real quick here, Ty says don't got a 10 out of 10 game recently, but the closest is Xenoblade. If I'm not mistaken, the last Xenoblade was on the Switch, and the Switch is last gen, so that doesn't count. Persona, which Persona? Because
Oh,
there's a
be
couple
quiet.
of Personas that launched. There's a couple of
Technically, the
Personas
Switch
that
is
launched
9th
on
gen.
current gen.
Technically, the Switch is 9th gen.
Stop it.
It's
If we're
true.
more recent, I would say Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk also doesn't count because it launched on the
Yeah,
That's a next gen release though.
I would have said Cyberpunk, and I almost did,
Yeah,
but
it didn't launch with the current gen consoles.
But it is only current gen
launched
now.
close.
DLC is only current gen.
Yeah, but it didn't launch on just the current gen consoles.
Did it really launch on old consoles? I mean, did it?
Oh
really?
my god! Let's move on. Unicorn Overlord, Breichi. Never heard of it, but okay. Fire Emblem 3. If I'm not mistaken, Fire Emblem is only Switch, correct?
Yeah, it's Nintendo.
So that one's out the window. Fire Emblem is a good shout. Masterpiece, a game where you never complain about anything. I think that's a fair one. Oh yeah, Persona 5, Ham Solo, right? Speaking of your example, Matt, when you're talking about Elden Ring, Ham Solo does not like turn-based. He played Persona 5 and fell in love with it. So that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
For me, it's you can't complain about. You have no complaints about the game, or it makes people that don't care about a specific genre jump in. So like Forza Horizon, for example, 4 or 5. Cozy doesn't care about driving. But Cozy was playing the hell out of Forza Horizon. So you know what I mean? Anyways, Cozy, give us a 10 out of 10. At least one.
Modern games that are only on like the new whatchamacallits. I think my only one is probably Starfield.
Ooh,
that's like legit.
The only one.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I think that's like problem because it's like that game was already a checklist of things that I'd like in a game.
Yeah.
So it's like hard for me to think of like most games that I kind of like are going to be
Oh my
available on.
God.
We're not laughing at you, cause
I mean,
Rachie, what the hell?
you problem.
I mean, hey, it counts. You
But-
made that shit so hard for everyone.
I know.
Technically, Judgment doesn't even count.
The problem is that most of the games that I'm like, dang, this game really did something for me, are like little indies, and they put them everywhere.
Yeah.
For
So I
me,
can't.
a 10 out of
yeah.
10 this gen, I would say Vampire Survivors.
That's on
Ooh,
old gen. That's on old systems. You can't say that.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
but it launched
Hold
this
on.
gen.
Exactly.
Okay, so it has to be something that specifically launched this gen.
I gotta throw Cult of the Lamb
Yeah.
on there. What a fucking game.
Well, but then you could
Cult of the
also
Lamb is
say
hot
you
fire.
could also say Cyberpunk then.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk
Okay, but hold
launched
on.
this gen.
But hold on. Did
All right.
Punk launch when the Series X was available, or
Yes.
did
Yes.
Cyberpunk launch and then the Series X came out?
No, it launched when it was available.
Okay, so the Cyberpunk counts.
Yes.
Cyberpunk counts.
Then I'm throwing in Cyberpunk. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the games I like are available on everything. And yes, I would say Vampire Survivors. But the problem I have with a lot of that is like I don't look at games with a cutoff date, because a lot of the games that do a lot for me are going to be older. Because you know what else I can say? Brotato.
That's fire.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
trying to make it more fun, Cozy, because we are hardcore gamers. So if anyone asks us for 10s out of 10s, you could come up with 50 games.
I
could
don't
the
do
same
that.
thing.
So if someone asks me about games, especially if they're like not really big into games, my goal is to find them something that they will play and get them into games. I'm not gonna mention my favorite shit. I'm gonna be like, I think this person would actually play this, so I'm gonna tell them about what I think they'd actually
Oh,
play.
I'm mentioning Metal Gear. As soon I don't care if they're
Okay,
niche gamers, they're not.
enjoy turning people away from gaming.
Yeah, and then they never played games ever again.
Oh, buzz off.
Huh.
Buzz off. I'm free, bitch. AEC Vic, the motherfucking click. Welcome in, Vic. Member 10 months says, "What's up, Cozy, and etc." Loke's team suck.
Damn.
I don't understand the violence. I don't like why. I don't get it. Anyways, so yeah, for me, 10 out of 10, the game that comes to mind is definitely Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
know a lot of
So
people want to
am I
talk
allowed to say
about-
Forza Horizon?
Of course.
See, yeah, so Forza Horizon would be one, but I didn't know if it counted because it was on old systems.
Yeah, but it also didn't it launch on the series console, Forza 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Like for me, it's that one's definitely like up there of like a great game. But the first one that pops into my mind of like a game that blew my mind, and I can't find a flaw in it, is Vampire Survivors. It's crazy. If I'm not playing it now, it's because I want to be able to play other games. That's how good it is.
I literally
not
played
because-
it for 6 hours when it first came out, and I was like, why is my wrist so sore? Because I played it on PC. and
Yes.
and then I looked at my time, I was like, wait, I've been playing this for 6 hours, and I kind of just freaked out.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that for me, that is like that is the definition of what a 10 out of 10 is. You get in, and then when you look to the side, if you were playing in the morning, it's now afternoon, or it's now evening. Or if you started playing in the evening, it's now morning. That's a 10 out of 10
Sims,
right there.
Sims 1 was the
No
original
question.
10 out of 10.
Mm.
Yep.
Goodness, Summer and hated me. I would just be like, it's 6 in the morning. I wake up, I play Sims. Like I
Yep.
spent one entire summer just playing Sims. Like wake up at
Wow.
6 in the morning, boot up Sims, play it. I would maybe walk to the library in the afternoon, grab some books from the library's summer reading program, and then go back home, play
And
some
then it was
Sims.
bedtime.
No, I didn't have a bedtime. So then you would just like read books after a certain hour, and then just like for your library, because they gave you prizes that were mostly stickers. But
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Moving on. That was a nice little walk down recent memory lane. Like a Dragon developers say the series will continue to focus on middle-aged guy things. The game's chilling out with all the guys in a bar. Feel is its unique appeal, they claim. So a couple of quotes before we get into it. I think that is precisely one of Like a Dragon's selling points. In Yakuza Like a Dragon, everything starts with three unemployed middle-aged guys being like, let's go to hello work. They have a different air about them than a group of young heroes would, complaining about back pain and the like. But this humanity you feel from their age is what gives the game originality. For example, there's a conversation where Adachi is conflicted about whether he should drink beer or not because he's worried about his uric acid level. We're making the hearty talks of middle aged guys our identity rather than youthfulness. We have had a large increase in new fans, including women, which we're truly grateful and happy and grateful for. However, we don't plan to do anything like deliberately changing conversation topics in order to cater to new fans. That would make us unable to keep talking about things like uric acid levels. Ladies and gentlemen, raise a glass to these motherfuckers.
No, that's good,
Can I
man.
get a round of applause? Can I get an amen? Can I please get an
Absolutely.
amen?
Amen.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Matt,
they doing what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
uh,
devs like fall short in recognizing, like, yeah, the reason why you're getting this new audience is because your product is good. Don't change it. Like, don't try to appeal to this new audience. They're there because specifically they like what you're doing.
I'll let you guys go in on it before I do. Matt, go ahead.
Going on, well, I've not played the Like a Dragon series, so I'm definitely the wrong person to ask about this. But that's awesome that they're. I mean, kind of what Cold Classic did just said. I mean, like, you don't want to change what you've been doing just because you got an audience. Keep doing
Mhm.
what you're doing because you got that audience because you did what you did. So keep it up.
All right, Cozy.
Yes, I agree that they know their audience. They are banking on that audience continuing to buy the product that they make. I think a lot of times companies get caught up in chasing these higher dollars, and that's where they lose out. They should
Mhm.
continue to stick to what they do. If they want to do something new because they think that something new will do something for them as far as creativity goes, but don't just follow trends.
All right. Ty says stick to what you got there. I agree with. Shut the hell up, Ty. You're also the one supporting the crappy new Disney. They're genius. They can understand the fans are there for this. Meanwhile, other Japanese studios make their RPGs more Western. I don't understand people who loves JRPGs are leaving. Yeah, that's a worthy criticism. As as an addendum, if the cost of development increases and the current audience isn't enough, then they need to change. You couldn't let go of your Disney ways, Ty. You couldn't do it. You couldn't
And you
even go
stop
one
spending so much
comment.
money.
Oh my lord. Cassie, Sir X-Men says hi. Welcome in, Sir X-Men. Blah blah blah. For me, I just want to say this makes me love these guys even more.
Yeah.
Like I already own the whole series on Xbox. I'm going to rebuy it on Steam. If I lived in America, I would buy the physical copies of all of their games. And I love this sentiment. To hell with the modern audience. To hell with the late comers.
I
Go
disagree
to
with that.
go to dance with the one that brought you to the ball. All right? Don't do it. The day TSWS blows up, there is no way someone is going to convince me, oh yeah, look, I think Cozy and Matt aren't a good fit. Go and get so and so and so and so that's a positivity peddler and going to keep things pushing. I'm not going to do that. We are what we are because of the foundations that brought us here. The only reason things would blow up is because of Matt. It's because someone was streaming and watching and saw Cozy eat the octopus. That's why TSWS blew
The
up.
tentacle, because I'm definitely not eating the octopus head thing.
Whatever. Point is, this is what brought them here. We brought them here. The middle-aged guys brought them here. And I love the fact that they're like, nah. Before you guys even start asking us, because I'm sure y'all are going to start asking us just now. Before you even start asking us, we're going to stick to what we've always been. If that's not good enough for you, that's fine. Because it's good enough for the people that have made us gigantic.
I think
Cozy, please tell me why you disagree.
No, I agree and disagree. I think that the ultimate problem is when you look at, like, people say, I think it's like people saying devs. And, like, there's a lot of miscommunication. Like, devs is, like, basically a big nebulous term. If the powers that be that ran Like a Dragon, the Yakuza series, wanted change, they would totally, and the devs would just, like, fall in line. The people that actually
Just
worked
do
on
their
the game.
jobs.
Yes. So, but I also think there's this thing where people also want to pigeon. I actually appreciate what they did with the series. I think they were just niche enough and just hit. They are lucky in that they hit the right audience. Because if they had done, like, most people couldn't pull Like a Dragon. Most studios could not pull Like a Dragon. Suddenly, like, oh, let's totally change the gameplay formula, but keep the same game bones. Most people could not get away with that. They got away with it because they are very in tune with their audience. And there's nothing wrong with chasing, like, a younger audience. The problem is a lot of these companies that chase younger audience don't even know what they're chasing. They're throwing they're throwing shit at the bathroom wall and hoping it doesn't slide down to the floor. And that's fundamentally their problem, is, like, they don't know how to actually chase a trend. It's like, remember when Sony brought Mobius back to Morbius? Back to theaters?
The
Morbius.
vampire thing.
Back to theaters?
They didn't get the meme. They didn't get the.
They didn't get, because they didn't understand that people were making fun of it.
Yep.
Morbid
Yeah.
time.
That's what a lot of these trend chasers feel like. They trace a trend, but they don't understand. They don't actually understand how it works.
Yeah. They don't understand why people are here. They don't get it.
Yep.
They just see what people are buying and they're like, okay, so take that, click Control C, right? Move it over here, and then click Control V. Let's see what happens.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't work. Anyways, I think this is a dub for the Like a Dragon series, and long may it continue. Sorry. We were supposed to be done with Astrobot, but I put it in the wrong order. Apologies to everyone. So Crash Bandicoot cameos in Astrobot despite Microsoft's Activision acquisition. I saw some people commenting that, oh, this is more of Microsoft being weak-spined or whatever. But me personally, when I saw it, I was like, this is just a normal thing to happen because of how like Crash has been closely associated to PlayStation over the decades. And although we like to think that Xbox and Microsoft are at each other's throats and they don't have each other's phone numbers, they don't have meetings, they don't talk or whatever, I firmly believe that they saw this opportunity and they were like, you know what, it's fine. Go ahead, put Crash there. He is part of your legacy. And Astrobot, essentially, his whole thing or its own thing. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm gendering a robot. Its whole thing is the legacy of PlayStation. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
Yeah. I mean, what does what would Microsoft look like being like, no, you can't have Crash in your game?
Nintendo.
Like what? Yeah, true. That's fair. That's honestly a fair point. That's a fair point,
Damn,
actually.
Cozy.
But
That's a
yeah,
very good point. I didn't think about that one.
it does Microsoft no benefit to, now that they own Activision, be like, hey, PlayStation, you can never talk about Crash Bandicoot again. Don't ever mention them.
Yeah.
Like that, like calling that weak for letting them do that. First of all, I don't like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's literally what you said. It's a
nothing to
part of
lose.
PlayStation. Yeah, it's a part of PlayStation's history, like a very big part of it. So like, they have them in the game. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see them, do the right thing. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just it'd be so petty to not do that. And you don't want to look petty as a company,
No.
there's times to extend your reach. Definitely, 100%. This is not one of them. And if anything,
Exactly.
this could make people feel nostalgic. And it could benefit you in the long run because, hey, I'm assuming that Microsoft might actually, invest into this, into this IP and make a new Crash game or whatever have you. And people that are feeling nostalgic about Crash after seeing him in Astrobot may be tempted to fuck around with their game on PC, or if they put it on the PlayStation. I mean, you do nothing by hurting your new audience on PlayStation. I mean, that's just what it is with Microsoft at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tara says even if they wanted to block it, they would look bad. I think the argument is if the roles were reversed, PlayStation would not let the mascot on an Xbox platform.
Sure, but this is the PlayStation and Xbox at this point they're obviously doing two different things. Xbox is doing something entirely different, and they're like, I agree with what he's saying there. If it was reversed, PlayStation wouldn't allow that, but PlayStation at this point is not Xbox, and Xbox is not PlayStation. They're doing two
and also, I think it's
things.
fair to say that people that are on the Xbox console, they're not PlayStation's consumers, whereas the people on PlayStation are now Microsoft's consumers.
Facts.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I think that sums it up. This was not, in my opinion, and in the panel's opinion, a bad move by Microsoft. It is what it is. Infinite Umbra, what's up? Welcome in. It's been a minute.
Infinite Umbra is definitely Bushido.
What?
Well, yeah, that could. I got
understood that reference. He understood that reference.
Well, that's good.
So they're similar. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to some sad news.
Oh no.
Well, it's not sad. It's not sad for like they're collecting the fruits. Actors Union SAG-AFTRA gets its first developer to agree to its term over use of AI. Remember when this thing popped off? I remember a whole lot of us were like, "Oh, this is not going to work out," myself included. But it seems like the first domino is falling. The union started a strike on July 26th after it said it had failed to negotiate acceptable protections against the use of AI for its members. While the strike remains active, video game companies and their performance production arms likely won't be able to hire unionized actors to perform motion capture or voiceover work for their games. However, Tencent-owned studio Lightspeed LA has become the first developer to sign up to the union's interim interactive media agreement, which makes numerous promises, including protections for actors who don't want their voice to be used in AI performances. As reported by GamesIndustry.biz, Lightspeed's agreement means the strike no longer affects it, and it can now begin to hire performers represented by SAG-AFTRA. For The Last Sentinel, its open world game for which is already signed up Troy Baker, as performance director. So here's a quote: Lightspeed LA has always recognized and valued the irreplaceable role of talent, which injects creativity, innovation, and the human touch into video games. Studio General Manager Steve Martin said, supporting our cast is the right thing to do, and there was never any hesitation to consider the performer protections that anchor this agreement. Matt,
Yeah,
is this the beginning of the end?
beginning of the end for this whole strike, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah, for the strike.
'Cause
Do you think that the rest of the video game industry is going to bend the knee, the proverbial knee?
I don't think the rest of the video game industry. I think some will, some won't. It kind of a much put it this way, a much better outcome than we forecasted a couple weeks ago, a month ago, however long
Yeah,
ago it
yeah.
was.
Because
I
we
think
thought
a
that he was
much
going to take a big fat L.
yeah, exactly. That's like I just kind of assumed, it's a good cause that they got the right. They're doing it for the right reasons. They're trying to, obviously in the process protect themselves and their jobs, and that's great and everything, and hope it works out. But I wasn't optimistic that this was going to work out in any way, shape, or form for that strike. Just given the fact that it's corporations versus people, and corporations win all the time. It's good to see in this case, it is just one developer, but it's good to see at least one developer be like, hey guys, maybe you got a point. Maybe you got a point. And I don't know if that's going to spark the rest of the industry to do the same, but hopefully some other companies follow suit. Would be cool to see.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
Sounds bad.
yeah. This is a new studio.
Oh, okay. That's fair then. Sure.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah, founded
I have to
founded in
do
2019.
yeah.
Working on their first game. Yeah, that's not great. In terms of like predicting the rest of the industry falling in line, I would say that maybe this doesn't really mean much.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, ideally, you would want people's artistry, if it be voice acting or whatever artistry it is, to be
To be
protected.
protected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is a difficult thing because we're in unprecedented times in so many different ways. It's kind of scary, and this is AI can be a great tool, but we know how every great tool ends up being used habitually in negative ways to
yep.
fuck us over. And that's the shame of it,
Yeah.
because I feel that there's so many great things that were invented, that were used, that had the greatest intentions at heart, and ended up being used in terrible ways. And that's
As
a
a
shame.
species,
And
we are consistent at doing that.
yes, and
Yes,
AI
very
will
much.
be no different. And we the shame is we have all the warnings over many decades, and we're still like face first, into the wall with AI. So hopefully we can plug as many holes as possible. But yeah, it's just one of those things where everything's play by play, and you got to play your cards right.
Gotta know
Sounds
when
like
to
you're
hold 'em.
predicting Skynet with AI.
Know when to
Nah.
fold 'em. I honestly think the good news is we're not even at AI for real yet.
Yep.
But I think companies will use this to cheap out, and people like what big companies have to offer will go that route, and then people who don't will probably stick on the other side where games are crafted. But you're going to see the schism between people who play like the games that are heavily implement AI and just throw them out there, and the people who just and you're not going to see a lot of in between. So I think a lot of the people who do like stuff like the voice acting and stuff will be caught up in that. Because I know when making my own game, I can't afford a voice actor. So you know what? I have
Yes.
to do that on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair enough. What type of protections do you guys think advocate for? Let's get deeper. What type of protections? I would say, oh, and voices is such a hard thing to protect because it's not like physical, you know, and it's not
Yeah, you can't
static,
see it.
and it's not static. Because if you listen to Samuel Jackson, I was watching Afro Samurai. If you listen to Samuel Jackson's voice back in 2007 compared to now, it's two people.
Yeah.
So how to protect something that is transient and ever changing, really? For me, I would say, man, protecting the pitch of someone's voice, that is wild.
I honestly think I understand it because it's like the same thing with like you remember how you used to have a lot more you had like bigger celebrities in voice acting, but you used to also have dedicated voice act. I mean, you still do, but I don't know. Notice how like within the last like 15 years, a lot more bigger celebrities have been in voice acting, and it's kind of like
Yeah, yeah. It's taking
ruined
away
voice.
from just the
It's
voice
taking away from
actors,
the actual people that are dedicated voice actors because dedicated voice actors tend to just be better.
specialists,
Yeah.
specialists.
And I think that seems to be the same sort of thing that'll happen with the AI voice acting. It's not going to hurt probably like the big name celebrities because people will be like, oh, we get Chris Pratt to play Java or whatever. Put Chris Pratt does voice work for Chris Pratt and Chris Pratt the animated movie.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, the animated movie, the series, the game.
Yes.
I think at some point we won't have to worry about this because I feel like all these companies are going to go to AI to do all the voice acting anyway. It's sad to say.
They will. And I feel like you're going to have two different classes of people. I think in general, the struggle will be, I think, a lot of, we're the aged market.
The aged market.
And I think a lot of the younger market consumes entertainment. They don't enjoy entertainment, they consume it.
They just go through it. They don't sit in it.
Yeah. Like the whole thing about people who watch, younger people who watch things at like 1.5 in double speed.
That is crazy.
It's like the Netflix era of viewers, man. Like, I would have to embellish in the things that I enjoyed, and then I would have to sit through shit that I didn't like until I can get to the things that I did like. Kids these days don't understand that concept at all. It's like I get everything I want when I want, how I want on Netflix or on HBO or through these gaming services. Like they don't know what it's like to just sit there and have a dull moment where we came up, having with that quite a bit.
Yeah, so then dull moments, though, they make you appreciate
Absolutely.
entertainment in a way that the constant dopamine rush of consume entertainment.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that difference is like, I think AI will be good for consume entertainment people, but it will be bad for people that are developing taste. Like I work with a guy and he's a younger guy. He's like 21-ish. And but just discovering movies.
Mm.
Just he just told me he was a film buff, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I started talking about movies, and he never heard about a lot of movies, but it was interesting to see what movies he had talked about that he liked, and they were like some older stuff. So I knew like, oh,
Mm.
so he's like not just someone who says I love movies and watches them in a consume
Marvel.
way. He loves
Oh, shut up!
movies.
Leave Marvel alone.
Marvel
was peak until
is
Endgame.
no Marvel is peak consume. It peaks the
No.
consume era. I'm sorry.
Even before Endgame.
Even before Endgame, it peaked consume era.
You know,
That is wild.
it's so crazy because it's
wild
like
to
when I grew up, I hated Sailor Moon. I never, I was like, bro, I will sit through Sailor Moon and their bullshit just to get to Dragon Ball Z, where the shirtless dudes are punching the shit out of each other. That's what I wanted to see as a kid. I wanted to see the blood and macho dudes throw hands and all that. So I would sit through Sailor Moon because that was what was on just prior to Dragon Ball Z. And as an adult, I became nostalgic about Sailor Moon, and I rewatched it, and I enjoy it. Like, I embellish in it more, and it does have a nostalgia factor, even though as a kid growing up, I fucking couldn't stand it.
I mean, but that was the way
Sailor
of
Moon.
things. I think
Yeah.
you watched things you didn't like, and even if you didn't like them, you still were like, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yep.
But nowadays, there's like a sort of disengagement from anything that's like you don't like, and you only engage with media you like in a very consume way instead of a entertainment value way. So you can't really
Yeah.
have a genuine conversation about the way
Listen,
the
I
media
still
works.
hate Sailor Moon. I'm just going
Fighting
to be
evil
100%
by
with you guys.
moonlight, winning love.
I
Okay.
hate it. I still
Um,
hate it.
I never watched Sailor Moon for
It's
real.
fine.
Like
You
that.
weren't the targeted demographic. I was, and I hated it.
I always saw like my
I love
issue with
it.
it.
I love
My
it. I
issue
love
with it, it was like so like I guess like the
The
Sailor
targeted
Moon,
demographic.
it could have been cool, but I thought the slice of lifeiness and like her being like kind of obnoxiously girly kind of took away from a lot of the things that would have been interesting.
I mean, let's be real. Sailor Mars was better, but hey,
She
you can't.
was.
You can't have the best one be like the lead. That just isn't how things work.
No, she was. Yeah, it could have been better, but it wasn't the
Ooh,
worst show.
Cheers is nice. Cheers is nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sailor
No,
Moon.
making your way
No.
through the world today
No.
takes. But no, hear me out though. As much as I thought
Okay.
Cheers was like the most boring show in the universe, I would literally make myself sick crying if I did not catch the intro. I would like be
What?
like, I missed the intro. My world is over. My world is over. I had to watch that
Are you
intro.
serious?
Yes, I had to watch the intro every time. It was like Mr. Rogers. I did the same thing with where I didn't actually watch the show, but because I thought it was boring. But I would have to tune in at the beginning when he walked in the house and he was like,
Mhm.
"Hello, neighbor," and he would change his cardigan and change his shoes. And at the end of the episode, then I would like switch to something else. But then at the end of the episode, I had to come back and watch him change his shoes and change his cardigan again. And I don't know why, but it was like I love that.
Oh my
It was
God.
like my favorite thing.
It's crazy because kids nowadays can get all the games that we had to clean up the house for, that we had to wash the dishes for, just to
And
get
we'd
that
only get
one
one of
game.
those games.
Yeah, to only get
Yeah.
one. And then these little assholes, they got emulators
Bro.
just stockpiled with all these fucking games that I had to work my ass off to get as a kid.
You know what? Since we're ranting about these motherfucking kids, I once traveled for work. I came back and there's a Series X in the house. It's off. There's a PlayStation 5 in the house. It's also off. There's a Series S in the house. It's also off. And there's a PS4 Pro, and that's off. Both of my boys are in the house. Guess what they're doing?
Watching
Tablet.
videos on their phone.
They're playing mobile games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
that's the future.
Playing
Disgusting.
mobile game. They have their 4 premium consoles, all the subscriptions paid, hundreds
Yep.
of games, maybe even thousands if you put them together. These little minions are playing mobile games.
Hear me out. There are good
Yeah.
mobile games.
I
The
don't
problem-
care, Cozy. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know
The
what I
pro-
would give to be 14 years old and have the best consoles in the world
But
and
you're
all
also
of those games
old.
right there? God damn it, Cozy. God
That's the
damn it.
problem. That's what I've been saying this entire time. You're old. You don't understand the way these kids play, and
Ugh.
you have to meet them where they are. The problem is
And then
a lot of people have
I-
given up on mobile development that isn't freemium.
You know what? Parents aren't creating these, and it's not a detriment to the parents. It's one of those things where it's like kind of natural because a lot of us didn't really have a lot of the shit that we always wanted. We got maybe some things here and there, some more than others. But I'm starting to find that if I were a parent, it would be hard to create that genuine sensation of this child fucking like having that moment of not having something. Like,
Yeah.
like it must be difficult, man, because it's like, dude, you want everything, and then you got everything because you're like, I earned that shit. I work hard for my money. And then it ends up on your kid's doorstep, sort of deal, because it's yours, and eventually you share. And then it's like they're on all your shit. And it's like, how do you create that sense of they want something, but it's already there?
it has to be
It's so
good.
difficult.
It has to be good for them. Like, that's why I respect Hi-Fi Rush so much. Hi-Fi Rush got my kids to play console. Like my son stopped playing. Okay, one of them only plays FIFA. The other one only plays Forza. Hi-Fi Rush, they both left their safe game to go play Hi-Fi Rush. That's why I respect the hell out of that game. Because for me, it was just whatever, I'm just gonna play it. But I actually caught them. I caught them randomly just playing it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there. We need more stuff like Hi-Fi Rush to get the kids back in. Otherwise, it's over. Because we are the only ones buying God of War. We're the only ones playing it.
There's so much content for children, though, man. It's just, is
Yeah.
it good? And I feel like a lot of kids media treats children like they're stupid, and that's why
be
they don't
honest,
gravitate to it.
It's because a lot of children's media it's a lot because a lot of children are actually stupid. I don't mean that in a terrible way. They're just encouraged critical thinking. They grew up in an age of internet where they're just constantly vegged out and overstimulated, so they don't have the same critical skills that keep them sharp and engaged and patient. And those things are the skills that are important.
But it's our responsibility to fix that, though. Like, one of the things that I always do with my kids is I always ask them, but why? Oh, you have to do this and this. I'm like, okay, but why? And then they see the flaw, and I'm like, and then they're like, oh, okay, let me correct it. I'm like, no, don't just correct it. I need you to understand why you're correcting it. Don't just do things for the sake of it. Understand why you're doing it. But it is a struggle. No lie. Welcome in, Doomsayers. Already simping for Cult Classic K. See, this is what happens when you start going to the gym. Cult Classic K. This is what happens.
Man.
This is what happens. Dude, I'm telling you, it's why Cozy has thousands of followers, even though she's got like all that like dead animals and whatever on her Instagram. It's because she squats. It is what it is.
Squatting is a way of life.
Yes, it is, Cozy. Yes, it is.
One way
Moving
or
on,
another.
State of Decay.
My topic.
Yeah. Cozy brought this topic up in the chat. So State of Decay 2 has an update for everyone. Since 2018, we've had the honor and privilege of supporting. Oh my God, State of Decay is dead, just like Concord. Oh my Lord, rip.
Up.
We've had the honor and privilege of supporting State of Decay 2 with nearly 40 updates and expansions, new modes, maps, difficulties, stories, characters, weapons, cosmetics, bounties, vehicles, events, traits, and more. We've poured our hearts into making the experience the best it can be, spurred on by your belief in us. Every update addressed your wish list request, fixed bugs, and brought quality of life improvements. We love making the game you love to play. We know you love this world we've created and the amazing community you've helped build. While you enjoyed State of Decay 2 for many years, you may have heard that it was also hard at what? That we are also hard at work on the next evolution of the franchise. Our ambition is to make the greatest zombie survival sim in the franchise, and to do so, we'll be shifting our focus and resources to the making and upcoming third installment, State of Decay 3. You can expect a final content update for State of Decay 2 coming this year. This final update, Update 38, claims to fix. I'm calling it now. There's going to be a cosmetic about something 38 in State of Decay 3. I'm calling it. Update 38 aims to fix some long-standing issues, implement additional quality of life improvements, and permanently unlock seasonal or otherwise previously gated content. Wow, that's nice. Such as
Yeah.
winter outfits and wizard van. Here are some answers to some of your frequently asked questions. God damn, this is a long post. Um, the next update, update 38, will be the final content update for State of Decay 2, but it is not the end. Whether you're an owner or you can play on Game Pass, the game will continue to be available. We just won't be creating new content and supporting the game after update 38. That's nice. That's nice. After careful consideration, we have decided to focus on making State of Decay 3 the best it can be for all of you. We listen to your feedback on support tickets and the wish list, but we can't get every suggestion. Rather, our goal is to implement those changes and fixes that help the most players in an effort to make the game stable and fun for years to come. No, your saved games and or communities will not be affected. You will be able to keep playing normally for the foreseeable future. No, we are stopping content development and developer support for the title. The game will remain available on all existing platforms and for all owners included with Game Pass subscriptions. Yes, the bounty packs from the bounty broker will continue to cycle automatically. You can see that schedule here. After update 38, we will be closing our support system for the title and no longer accepting the bug reports. If you are experiencing a platform issue, please contact Xbox support. If you are stuck, need advice, or want to know how something in the game works, please refer to our player guide and connect with seasonal players in our Discord. Any content that was previously seasonal will be lootable in the world after the final update. The final
Wow.
update, Update 38, will be released later this year. If needed, we may release at least one hotfix after Update 38. We'll have more information to share on the game and its release at a later time. We encourage you to follow us on our socials and stay signed up for our newsletter for timely updates. God damn, I need some water. Cozy, go ahead.
Woohoo! Okay, so I am a State of Decay 2 fan. Honestly, as far as updates have gone, it is one of my favorite games. Solidly lots of free content that they've put up. They've kept the game alive, kicking with the pulse, and their updates aren't just updates to the game in like, oh, that's a cool little update. They have fundamentally changed how the game is played. Like
Mm.
each new edition added something, contributed to like the last big one was like I remember when they added the curveballs, which just structurally changed how the game played because suddenly you had crazy events that just happened in the game. Um, so if you tried it when it first came out, it's not the same game at all. It's fun still. It's amazingly fun, but it's not the same game that you tried when it first came out. I appreciate the amount of effort and love that they put in it. Like if you are active on like their Reddit, they are active in there, and they actually listen to the players. There's a lot of dialogue that happens between them and like the people that are playing their game. So I'm excited for the next phase. I'm really excited, and I just thought this was big news because I was like, oh man, they're finally doing it because they hadn't had any announcements before this about like ending the updates. They've just been like as you heard me talking about, if you've heard me talk about State of Decay and my excitement for State of Decay 3 and the continual conversation of how as excited as I am for State of Decay 3, I'm okay with still playing State of Decay 2 because they've continually updated it. And so I'm like looking forward to what's going on with State of Decay 3 now as I continue to play State of Decay 2.
What's really cool about this is that if you haven't gotten into the game, or maybe if you tried it early on, you're like, this is a little too buggy for me, like me personally. Now seems like after this update where they're just like, here, just have at all the content, seems like an awesome, jumping point even for someone that hasn't really played it. Because like for me, I don't like to get invested in live services after a certain
Yeah.
point because you feel like you already missed out on stuff. And you don't want to have that feeling when you're choosing to invest time into a game. It's like this really weird situation that you're kind of put in, and it's like, I'm not going to be fully satisfied because I waited. So, and they locked it away. You can't re-access it. So, you know what? Fuck it. That's how I tend to be. Now it's like, well, the game has reached its peak. They're pretty much saying this is the finishing touch, and we're gonna let all the content, be out there, scattered out there. So it sounds like a good jumping in point, even at the end.
So when I say it's live service, this game is perfectly fine. You don't need other people to play it.
Yeah.
The only thing about like the content that they were talking about that was gated off is it was seasonal. So like if like I know personally some of the stuff I wouldn't get. And it's actually a lot of it was really easy to get. It was sort of like, oh, just use a shotgun to shoot off zombie limbs, and then just return to the bounty hunter. Bam, congratulations, here's your new shotgun skin. So a lot of it wasn't that hard to obtain, but it was just like it was only seasonal, and you knew it'd be back next season. So if you'd been playing for a while,
Okay.
you'd just be like, oh, I'm gonna show up. I'm just gonna wait till next Halloween to get the rest of it, and they would give you ample time to be like, oh, but it's exciting because that means that I can go collect the rest of the stuff that I haven't collected.
I'm kind of excited for it. Oh man, but I have so much on my plate. Like I don't even want to lie to myself and say, "Oh, I'm gonna give this a go." I'm just going to pray that when State of Decay 3 comes out, I'm free. That's all I'm gonna pray for. Because there's no way I'm gonna have time right now for State of Decay 2. So yeah. Matt, you interested in State of Decay 2 now that they're shutting down support, but not the game?
No, and I've tried State of Decay too. I've never tried State of Decay in general. I've enjoyed it, but I've never been able to fully get into it. I'm kind of like you right now, where I'm just I'll jump in when State of Decay 3 is out, and then that'll be my jumping in point.
Yeah, we're drowning in video games at this point. It's
wacky hours. What? Do you go to work at 2 a.m.?
Me? Oh yeah. I work from midnight to 8.
Oh God!
Yeah.
The hell hour. I work 6 to 6.
Thankfully, my job is pretty chill, so that's the reason why.
Because you thought she was being funny.
Around.
I did. And I'm like, never mind then, because honestly, there are people that work my job, but they work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and I'm like, how?
That's too much,
6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But people work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and I'm like,
I'd rather work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because then when necessary, I have the like half of the actual day to get stuff done. But if you're unavailable from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., then you're really fucked.
You only work 3 to 4 days a week, and it's always weekdays. So you always have I never work Friday.
I'm thinking of Monday to Friday. Though.
No, you don't work 12 hours. That's I think most companies, if they work you, you only work like long schedules. Every company I've worked at that had 12 hours. You could only work 12 hours 3 to 4 days, and after that they only worked you 8 hours because people would not stay if they made you work
Yeah.
12
You
hours
need to
every
move to
day.
Mozambique so we
But I
can
have to
talk
learn
about all that.
Portuguese.
Oh, it's simple. It's so easy. It's like Spanish.
It's like
If you
Spanish,
know,
but with weird accent marks.
what are you talking? Spanish is weird. Portuguese is
No,
not.
Spanish is
weird.
not weird. Spanish is absolutely not weird.
It's actually weird.
Yeah,
It's
no,
actually weird.
Spanish is not weird.
That's definitely here in the States because you learn like it's like one of the first languages you learn, even though I never learned it properly. But
You failure.
I
yeah.
always found that
Excuse me.
funny. I always found that funny. What? How come most like Americans don't speak
Because
Spanish?
most
Why?
people you encounter only speak English.
That's exactly. Like if more
Yeah.
people you encountered spoke Spanish, it would be a much more relevant thing.
Like literally,
Sure.
there's large portions of this country where only people speak English.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'll get like
I
people
just thought,
like depending on where you are in America, people will look at you weird for even having an accent, let alone speaking a different language.
another language.
Yeah, like so for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing is, it's weird for me to meet someone that only speaks one language because I don't know anyone that doesn't speak like in person. I don't know anyone that doesn't speak more than one language. So it's wild for me
I mean, it's
when
cool
the
to
whole
speak other
Spanish thing
languages,
comes up.
but there's another
Yeah.
layer of like access to even getting fluent in another language that you don't even get access to here. Like imagine you live in Chillicothe or something like that. In case you don't know what that is,
What?
that's it's a little shithole town in Ohio.
Yeah.
You're not gonna randomly learn another language living there. But a lot of large portions of the U.S., that's where people live. So
Wait,
they
so
aren't
in
gonna-
your schools, in your schools, don't you guys have like mandatory Spanish
some,
in your
depending on
schools?
where you live, yes.
Yeah, some schools, yeah.
But you don't necessarily get fluent in it because typically it's only 2 or 3 years, and you're never going to use it.
Exactly. And it's
Like
only you're only using it when you're at school.
yeah, you're only
learning the
using it in
language.
that class.
Exactly.
So you might pick up a few words, but eventually it falls off because you don't live in a place where anyone speaks. Ragey, I don't think you understand that we're all adults and not all of us
I'll
were
have
even
Dora.
children. When I was like way too old for Dora.
Yeah, I missed out on Dora.
Yeah.
That was after my time.
I actually
Yeah,
am
we were
like
grown by the time Dora was trending.
I actually am really good at language, and I'm trying to relearn Spanish, because I knew it as a kid, but I didn't use it, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
gone.
The whole not using it thing, that's real. That's real because I learned
Yep.
Zulu and Tswana when I was in South Africa, but now like I can understand it. But if you put me in a position where I have to speak it, I will start stuttering bad, like really bad.
That's me with Spanish. It's like I understand it for the most part, but speaking, I never got to that point where I was confident. And now it's like I
Yeah.
used to have Spanish speaking people in my house consistently all the time. Now that's not much of a thing anymore. Now that my grandparents aren't with us anymore, and so yeah, I've definitely lost still what I a good portion of what I did know, sadly.
And then you have to
Speaking
be
of
around
forgetting.
people.
Yep.
Speaking of forgetting, Matt, if you were
Mhm.
locked away, actually, you know what? Not just for Matt, for everyone else here, even in the chat.
Locked away.
If
what?
you guys were locked away for 10 years, well, not locked away, but if you had no access, hold on, if you had no access to video games for 10 years, do you think you would forget how to play a game?
No.
Depends on what game. But no, I'd say overall sentiment, I'd agree with Cozy now.
Playing a video game is a problem-solving thing. So the question you're asking is, would you forget how to problem solve?
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it, yeah.
Oh,
I
look
need
at
to
Vic
practice
speaking the Portuguese.
There's games.
All right.
Brazilian
okay.
or
Alright.
Portuguese?
I hate Portuguese. It's
Portugal,
disgusting.
Brazilian, you know, it's really weird. Brazilian is actually, I kind of used to be able to read it because back when they had the Miiverse on the Wii U, like
Yeah.
half of all the comments would be Brazilian people, like just like writing things. So you just got used to looking at it, and it wasn't that different from Spanish, so you could kind of understand what they were asking or what they were saying, and you'd comment on it. Portugal
problem-
Portuguese is a completely different species, though.
My problem with Portuguese is the pronunciation.
It's ugly.
I don't mind how it's written, but I hate the way it sounds. Like it
It's ugly.
sounds.
It sounds
Oh my
ugly.
God,
We can admit it's like
Oh.
the same thing with like Spain Spanish. It kind of just sounds like I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Like Mexican Spanish, I think is nice, but Spain Spanish is kind of rigid, which is weird because Spanish feels like a fluid language, but the Spanish they chop it up. in
It
my
lacks the
opinion.
music of the others.
Yeah, they chop it up. It sounds like Japanese versus Chinese. I think Mandarin is nice compared to Japanese. But anyway, we went off on a very, very big tangent. Vic says it's muscle memory like riding a bike. Yeah, I think we wouldn't forget how to play a video game. I don't think we would forget.
There's games I haven't played, like Evil Zone on PS1. I haven't played that game literally since the early 2000s. If you put it in front of me, I'd be able to play it.
You do it.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Before Tekken 8 came out, I hadn't played Tekken 7 for about a year, I think. And we were at a family thingy. And then the kids were playing. And
you had to show 'em what's up.
one of the kids was beating all of the other kids. And he was feeling himself. So one of my nephews knows that I'm pretty good at Tekken. I'm not awesome. I'm pretty good.
God, listen, you to beat children? You are a monster.
Slope decided
Well-
to bully some kids.
So the other kid, yeah, well, he's what was he? What, like 16 or something? He's almost an adult or almost grown. So they call me into the room, and I'm kind of, you know, that meme where the person is sitting back, and then when they lose, they lean forward. So I was sitting back, and I was using like Warang. I was chill, you know, just chill. I'm playing, and then like he beats me a round, not the whole match, just one round. And he pops off. He's shouting at me, pointing at the screen, doing
You
and
felt-
I'm like,
Attacked.
dude, it's a round. It's not even a match. It's one round. You still have
That's
to
when
beat me
he
two
knew
more rounds.
he fucked up.
He didn't know. He didn't know. When I told him to chill, and then he's like, nah, son, I'm the king of Tekken. When he called
Damn.
me son,
Yo, that's
Right?
crazy.
You said bet.
when he called me son, that's when I took it personal, like Michael Jordan said. That's when I was like, all right, boy, all right. So I leaned forward. You guys know who Warang is, right? The Korean guy
Yeah.
that just kicks.
Yeah, he's
I
cool.
did-
He's got
I did. I did something that I hate when people do it, but I did it. You guys know what juggling is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's-
did. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't get a hit in for the, like, we played like 5 matches, not rounds, matches. I didn't let him win another round in all
I
of those
get it.
matches. And the whole time, I was just juggling his ass. Juggling. And then when I beat him, right, I wouldn't pop off. I'd beat him and then I'd just look at him. Then I'd look back at the screen. And the other kids were just savaging him. They savaged him. When I was done, I just got up, I gave him the controller, and then my youngest nephew is the one that really ended it. He deaded it. He was like, just so you guys know, that's his weakest character. Like, he wasn't even like, that wasn't even his favorite guys. So yeah, end of conversation. Ever since that day, whenever I meet up with that kid, the one that I destroyed, there's a certain level of respect, you know. It's like, yeah, hi uncle. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, don't fuck with me. I might have the dad bod, but don't mess with me. Anyways, Anyways,
Wow.
yeah, child abuse, whatever.
Wow.
Matt, before we
Yeah,
hop
kid
on
has
out
to
of
be
here,
humbled.
yeah. I had to bring him down to earth. Before we hop on off out of here, please plug, plug, plug your stuff. Tell people
Oh.
what you've been doing, where they can find you.
Oh man. On YouTube you can find me. Matt Likes Games. 2 videos a week. Mondays at 8 p.m. is the L3R3 podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. And then Wednesdays at 8 p.m. it's a 2-player podcast with myself and Ham Solo. You can find me here every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern for this show with these guys and gals. And that's about it. Thank you.
We can also find you at your mom's house.
Sure, you can find me there too. You can find me all sorts of places, I guess.
Yeah, you can find him there too. Kosi,
Yes.
please plug your stuff.
You can find me wherever you find Cozy Belugas on 4GQ TV, on Thursdays Majestic Mayhem, on Sundays here, on Fridays, also on Fridays. I do Wasted with Wise if you want to see me trash.
Yeah. When she's serious in corporate, she's here, and then that's the after party with Wasted.
Nah,
With Wise. Literally,
yeah.
people are drinking alcohol, and it is wild. If you guys think
Although
Cozy's
I
wild,
can't
yeah.
drink anymore.
What? Why?
Oh, because apparently it's aggravating my eczema.
Oh no.
That's
Oh,
not good.
that sucks. Well, get you some alcohol-free champagne, Cozy. There's alcohol-free
that
beer
defeats the whole.
as well.
That defeats the whole purpose.
I'm just trying to help. I'm
She's
trying
just coming
to
to
help.
terms with her situation.
I'd rather
trying
not
to
drink
help.
than
That's all I was
drink
trying.
alcohol free.
Wow. All right. Cult Classic Cage. Plug your stuff. Tell people where they can find you, what you've been up to, etc.
Appreciate it, man. I know we've been trying to freaking get a day, and finally, it's like, yes, get to hang out with you guys.
Finally,
Yeah.
because
Let's
you are
go.
the fun one.
Thank you guys, man. It's always fun hanging out with
Yeah,
y'all,
she
so I really
is.
appreciate it. So much love to y'all, and much love to the awesome chat. If you guys want to find me, a lot of people still don't know, but my Twitter account, got decimated, got yeeted. So
What?
I have a new Twitter account. Instead of at Cold Classic Cage, now it's at Mario Kart. Yes, because I have it like that. Yeah, Twitter troll is going to Twitter troll, so I had to flex on him a little bit. But yeah, that's where you can find me on Twitter. If you're wondering where is that loudmouth, half Hispanic, half white girl at, and so that's where I'm at. And yeah, I upload videos on YouTube, just talk about my thoughts in gaming, whether you agree or disagree. It's always a good conversation, and I welcome you all to give your thoughts. And you can find me on Cold Classic Cage on YouTube. Yeah, we have a Thursday night live stream, and last night's live stream was insane. I call it an extravaganza. That's what I try to pull up with every Thursday night. And yeah, it's always a great time. And thank you guys, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us today.
Yep. Doom says I missed her, but I found her. For anyone watching, and you missed that, just look at the screen. I have
Appreciate
her Twitter up. It's at Mario Kart. Like Nintendo, oh my god, if they could, they would just
I'm surprised they didn't.
wow. Like someone probably got fired when they found out that we don't own that ad.
To be fair,
Someone
I've had it for
definitely
like
lost
a
it.
decade. So they haven't
Regardless,
hit me up in DMs like, "Hey, money," and not yet. So I might as well keep it.
not yet.
That is hilarious,
Anyways.
actually.
Anyways,
I was expecting to be spelled
that's
not
fine.
exactly like Mario Kart.
Quite literally Mario Kart. Leave the trolls to me, tag me. All right. Thank you to everyone for coming through. Matt, keep on licking them games. Cozy Beluga, keep on being messy. And Cult Classic Cage, keep on peddling all of that positivity. All right. We appreciate your presence, not only on TSWS, but also in these gaming streets. The real ones are rare. And even though we've had disagreements, we all agree on one thing. We love video games.
Woo woo.
Yeah. Y'all have a good weekend. We shall see you. Ham's having some internet issues, so we're probably not going to have the Halo stream tomorrow.
Aw.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a Football Manager stream, but I'll try. And what I can guarantee you is that we're definitely having the Everything Plus Gaming podcast
Oh yeah.
on Monday. On Monday, I'll try and rope in Cozy and Matt because Ham's not
can't.
showing up. We shall see.
I
Okay,
can't
so
do
Cozy's not coming.
Monday I work like a reasonable adult. I work 6 a.m. to 6
Alright.
p.m.
All right,
Let
Matt.
her live.
Yeah. What's up?
Matt, I'm putting you on the
Yeah.
spot. Monday, Everything Plus Gaming.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Might come
we can
through.
call it a maybe if you want, but I don't know.
All right. Fantasy football. Oh, dude. As soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go to what's his name? Wise's show, and then I'll definitely open up my fantasy football, and then
Let's talk about your fantasy with the footballers.
Oof.
Anyways, y'all have a good weekend. Goodbye. What was that? Oh.